The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station or iHeartMedia.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
Top of the morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Automotive Ed Radio Show, the show that helps you with all your automotive needs. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop, we got you covered. Phone lines are open, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. A lot going on in the auto industry, and the phone calls and emails have just poured in on pre-owned automobiles. We're going to be covering that. I've got 167 people on my list right now for cars. 167. And we had 223. We got it down, and I'm going to tell you, there's still everybody just sitting there waiting and wondering. And I'm going to talk to you about that used car factory and the cash cars that are available and not available, what you're getting for cash and what you should be looking at. Just to let you know, there's a lot of flood damaged cars that are coming up from the Houston area. They're going to dry them out and clean them up, and you're going to be hopefully not the person that buys one of these cars and put yourself in the pickle barrel that's just not good. And we're going to go through all that, what to look for. Remember, we have businesses out there that'll go through your used car before you buy it to make sure that it's a good bucket of bolts. Real simple, and we'll get you connected with that, because I'm telling you, those flood cars are going to be coming in fast and furious. It's graduation month, and a lot of moms and dads are looking for those cash cars. Don't buy the wrong one. Joining me as usual out of the senior citizen home that he was doing his La Bear dance for all the bingo gals 75 and older, Big Will Bo Carver. Good morning.
And the 80 and 85s really love me.
Really?
Yeah. The older they get, the more they, think I'm good looking.
Yeah. Are they doing any of the dollars, or still just change?
It's usually, quarters, nickels.
Is it?
Change, that kind of stuff.
You'll take it. I mean, you're not a greedy guy.
Well, I got big pockets. Throw it in there. Go buy that $7 coffee.
That's right. Back in studio, Maddie Gomez. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing good. Sorry for the delay there. That was all Bo's fault. I don't mess up when I'm on radio. I'm a perfectionist. But Bo,
yeah.
I have to take the abuse every Saturday morning, so I go ahead and keep it on me.
You know why Bo's actually part of the show, don't you?
No, I really
How long
don't.
you been with me now? 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Is the women love him? I don't get it. The women
Really?
love Bo. Everywhere we
Really?
go.
What do you mean? Maddie, you don't love me? You're the only one?
I didn't say that. It's just shocking. Really?
I met a lady.
So that's not even any better.
I met a lady at a
Well,
dealership the other day, and she said, "What is Bo really like?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about Bo. I don't care about Bo. Just what do we got here?"
I don't know. I guess, I love them. I show it. They love me back. Maddie, don't you love me? Come on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
See?
Well, hey, we are here
Thank you.
today, and we want to invite you out and come out and meet the great folks at Huffines Dodge here on Plano Parkway. And we wanted to come out here today and say thank you. They helped us out tremendously with a show that I had going on. Never met them before. I know the Huffines family. I've met Mr. Huffines before many, many years ago when I was actually the general manager for the McDavid Group and then the John Eagle Auto Group, and got to know all the family-owned and operated dealers and what a class act he is. And I had no idea. As I'm going through the history on the showroom floor, you want to see something fascinating, come out here to Huffines Dodge. Buy your car. They'll sell you a car, too, while you're here. And take a look at the history of this company. And I was just reading things off to Bo on the price of gasoline, and an ounce of gold when Mr. Huffines opened his dealership was $20 an ounce. Wow. Can you imagine? Now it's what, $2,000 an ounce? And I would love to be able to sit with people like that and just hear the stories of the evolution of the auto industry.
100 years in business.
100 years.
100 years.
I mean, and you start thinking back, because I worked for Mr. McDavid.
I'm almost there.
When he started in a little U-Haul building. You're about 5 years
I think
away.
I was here when it opened.
And I think about when he started back in the 60s, then you go, that's nothing. I mean, 1924.
I know.
And then you look at the uniforms and the outfits and everything he did. I'm an old school guy at heart. All the new technology and everything that's going on in the world, I couldn't give two flips about. I'm a meat and potato guy. I believe in a good, wholesome atmosphere. I love family owned and operated, and I always tell people it makes a difference, but the accountability is the name on the building. It's not a corporate whatever. It's a name. So joining us this morning, and I can't believe he's here, and give a big round of applause for Zach Stanley, new car director here.
Good morning.
So thanks for
Good morning.
time to hang
Yeah,
out.
I think he was with me at the senior home last night.
What we're going to do is we're just going to throw something over his head and shuffle him out of here where nobody can even talk to him and get him gone. But thanks for having us out. And once again, thanks for helping me out with the truck show. It was a big success. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been there.
Happy to
but
help.
we're glad to be out here. And the thing is that, as I talked earlier, family-owned and operated makes
Yes,
a
sir.
difference.
Yes,
and talk about your position and what's going on out at the dealership today.
Well,
And
so
pull
I've
that
been-
right up
oh,
to
yeah.
your mouth.
There we go. I've been here with the Huffines organization for 14 years.
Check that voice out. You got the
You
voice
like
for
that?
radio.
You
Yeah,
like that?
got
There you
it.
go.
You done that before?
No, but at least
Well,
the
you are
voice,
now.
not the face. So works out great. Right. My role here at the dealership is to oversee the day-to-day operations here in the new car department, take care of the Huffines customers, and just do what we do. We're very, very excited to invite everyone out to share this very special month with us. This is our anniversary of 100 years, as you said. 100 years of doing day-to-day business with our four core values: respect, integrity, selfless service, and excellence. I think that's the most important part of what we do here and what we do differently.
Well, I tell a lot of people, I've been in the industry for 36 years, and I got to work for some great owners. And as I go around and I talk to a lot of college students that say, when they have the big job fairs at the college, I talk about the car business, and all they have is comments from somebody else. And they don't really understand that there is integrity in this business. There is chivalry in this business. It is a good career path for a lot of people. And the hours that I used to work, 70, 80 hours to be the top guy. I remember when I went to work, sold my nightclub, and I got in the car business, and I was selling Fords. And I'll tell you how far back I was selling this. They didn't have prices on the windows.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so then GM jumped on board and declared trucks a passenger vehicle, because I only sold Ford trucks. But I worked for owners, and they were telling, here's the deal. You don't have to lie to be successful. You don't have to be this. And I was really mentored by a lot of really, really good people where this is a good, honest business.
Yes, sir.
And you just got to find the right, honest people to do business with.
Yes, sir.
And you got it right here in Plano Parkway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when it comes down to your employees, same thing. I mean, you just don't hire anybody off the street. It is a process. And the two times that I've been in here, I mean, you guys, Bo even plotted out, he goes, man, they're wearing suits. And I said, you know what? When I was
like that.
selling, it
Very
was shirt and
impressed.
tie only.
Yes, sir.
And even when it was really hot outside, it was shirt and tie.
Yes, sir.
And I remember I was telling Bo earlier, Mr. Eagle came up to me my first day when I took over his dealership, and he goes, you're selling cars today? Yes, sir, I am. I'm in slacks, a nice polo shirt. It says Honda on it. He goes, no, so you're selling cars. I said, Mr. Eagle, I already told you that is correct. And he goes, well, who's running the store? I said, well, I'm running the store. He said, so you're not selling cars? I'm like, I'm really confused. He said, I'll talk to you later. And I got a message. Shirt, tie, and sports coat only. And
Yes,
I
sir.
went,
Yes, sir.
okay. And it was such a cool standard. And to see you guys the way your attire was when I first walked in, I just started having flashbacks that,
Well, to me,
it's a standard.
Well, to me-
that this company is not letting go of.
to me, it separates the people that come in to buy a vehicle, because you go to a lot of dealerships and you don't know who's the salesperson, who the guy's looking. It really does make a difference, and I like it. I think it's fantastic.
And they're on the showroom floor with an open door. You don't
Yes,
see
sir.
that a lot.
And I wore
sir.
my
No
shirt and
sales
tie
tower.
today.
Boy, I remember my first job working in a sales tower, and it was like being a warden in a prison. I hated every minute of it. And I told Mr. McNatt when I took over his stores, I said, we're ripping this thing out. He says, it's been there 30 years. I said, yeah, 30 years in a day. It's coming out. This open showroom and the accessibility to managers, I think, is paramount.
Well, it's an important part of our process and how we like to do things. Our managers are out and involved on the showroom floor. We like to greet every customer that walks in the door. I mean, make sure that we get that face-to-face and people understand that we're people and we're here to help.
Yeah, you're not problem solvers. People think that, you get to the manager when there's a problem. Good management gets out front and makes any problems that might be there seamless. And that's what I tell them. The more transparent that they are when you're meeting the managers, because you're the final say-so on a car deal anyway, is I think it makes the deal a whole lot better. And that's one thing I told my manager. I want to see you on the showroom floor. Doing what? Meeting and greeting the customers. We've never done that before. I said, well, there's a new sheriff in town. I want to see you on the showroom floor. And I went back to finance. What are y'all doing? Nothing. Get on the showroom floor. Meet and greet this. Hey, I'm going to be your finance manager. I'll be taking care of your paperwork when you acquire your new vehicle. Even before they even bought it, we wanted to set that standard on the showroom floor. And I noticed as you go through the Huffine stores, you're going to get that.
Yeah, every store. Yes, sir.
Got to meet Sam. He doesn't look like he's old enough to work in a dealership.
He's aging well.
Yeah, you got to be 18 years old to work here,
Yeah.
So we're here. Come on out, Plano Parkway, right off Preston Road, and meet the fine folks here at Huffines. You know what? We know in this industry, not everybody's ready to buy when they come through the door. And what's great is when you meet a dealership that cares about that understands not everybody's ready to buy. I mean,
Yes,
you got
sir.
so many different lines of products, so many different cars, trucks, SUVs, Jeeps. There's nothing wrong with taking them through a great process so when they're ready,
1 minute.
they have the right people and the right process in place.
Absolutely, sir. Every transaction here at Huffines is it's about future business, right? I mean, we want to build that relationship, and we want them to come back to us to purchase their next car and their next car.
And to be here 200 years.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, it's important to let people know that we're here to go at their pace. It's not high
Nice.
pressure. We're not here to push them into a decision.
30 seconds.
We're here to be with them hand in hand and help them through the big decision.
Take the stress off, and the transparency is what you need, and you're going to get all that here at Huffines. Come on out and see us. We're here on Plano Parkway. We're going to be here to the noon hour. We got to take a quick break, introduce you to some great sponsors. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And Facebook, thanks for being with us today. We're here at Huffines Dodge Jeep Chrysler. It's a mouthful when you say all that, isn't it?
Yeah, come on out and
I got to be educated, but I knew I was missing one of them in there. I said it too fast. And you can join us on the Automotive Edge Facebook page, which you could be on, or the Shifting Gears, or YouTube. And that's the Automotive Edge Radio Show on YouTube. And we'd like to ask each and every one of you that's our Facebook followers to go to YouTube and subscribe to that channel, because that will help boost it. We just got started on there just a few weeks ago, and that'll help boost it to where more people can see it as we,
last week we had 539 subscribers after one show.
How about that?
Yep, so we've doubled the amount of views per day. So when we started the first day, we had a little over 400. Last Saturday, we had over 539 people subscribed to the show, and it's just growing. I mean, if we're picking up 500 every Saturday, we're doing pretty doggone good.
I called all my girlfriends and told them to do it.
Turn up your hearing aid. I got a message for you.
So are you done with us?
No, we're going to get him one more segment and boot him out.
All right. Yeah, we're live still, so you're going to keep talking.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
We're live on the feed.
We're not on the radio, but we're on. So how do we look?
No, we're talking about us two here. We know how he looks.
You go to the Automotive. You do Facebook? You go to the
So
Automotive.
when do you get your
got
last
it?
shipments of Chargers and Challengers?
We received our last shipment of Chargers and Challengers last year.
Sweet.
I mean, as far as what's coming, you're done. You're getting
We're
no
done.
more inventory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
For when? How long?
Done.
Forever.
It's gone.
Now the new Charger's coming, but that's all electric for the first year, and then they'll move into ICE engines next year.
Yeah, I saw it.
What now? I'm confused with that. So I thought this year's the last year for the ICE, right?
23 was the last year.
Okay, then they're going to move to EVs,
Yes, sir.
And then you said after that
They are going to bring
the ice back.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
I got you.
Yeah, I saw one of the executives for Stellantis at my wife's dealership, and I said, "Do me a favor." He goes, "What do you need?" I said, "Just one favor. Quit calling it Electric American Muscle. There is no such thing. No more articles, no more print."
They're
He goes,
doing their best.
like,
you know,
let it go.
the Fretsonic sound system. It's
Want
going,
to give you
it's
that
going to be
rumble?
interesting.
That rumble sound?
We're excited. We're excited.
Okay.
It's going to be.
Well, what I was hoping is that the electrification would be minimal, so everybody could maintain the cafe and build good muscle cars.
Sure.
So if you had 4 electric cars you put in the mix, and you were below cafe, then you could build whatever you want. But they're going a little bit different direction with it. So
We'll see. It's ever evolving.
yeah, I think it's going to change quite a bit next year. There's that old heart in Maddie coming out. You know who this is, don't you?
I can't hear it. I don't remember. That's before my time.
That'd be the Beatles.
I couldn't hear it that well. I can't run it through here.
And here you're a drummer and a bass player.
I couldn't hear it that well. I told you we can't run it through here.
Turn up that hearing aid.
But I can't do it because it'll go there where you'll get slapped around by the
That's right.
feds.
That's right. The federales. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. If you got a question about where to go, who to see, what to do when it comes to your next vehicle, pick up the phone and call me, 214-787-1190. Or you can go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt. Leave me your name and number. I appreciate all the emails and texts, but some of them are very, very lengthy. And I'm a meat potato guys. I'm not interested in the childbirth, boy or girl. Sorry, moms. Happy Mother's Day weekend. But I just want to get right to the point. And a lot of you, it's amazing when you send me these emails and these very, very long dissertations. I print them off, and then I make 3 notes, and I know I'm doing this for a very, very long time. I've got every connection with any maker model. You could be looking from Bentley, Lamborghini, Kia, Volkswagen, Dodge, Jeep. It doesn't matter what it is. I've got a connection in that maker model, and let's just get to what you're looking for. And so once again, and for everybody that says don't email me back, no, don't call me, only email me back. I have a hard time with that, but I do it. I mean, I'm a hands-on, face-to-face kind of guy. I'm a handshaker, and I have a guy I called, and he goes, "Sir, do you know how to read email?" And I went, "Matter of fact, I do." He goes, "Could you pull it up?" And so he goes, "Could you go to line whatever?" He had it lined. Only correspond through email. I said, "Yeah, I just read it." Click.
Wow.
Come on, guys. I mean, show the old guy a little bit of love. Hey, joining us, Zach Stanley, new car director here. Huff finds Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram right here on Plano Parkway. I know the area well because right down the street used to be Middlecoff Ford, and
Yes, sir.
I used to manage that store when Rick had it, and long, long gone. But there's a lot of competition. There's a lot going on in the auto industry. It really comes down to the 3 Ps for me, and that's the people that you're doing business with, the process they're going to take you through, and then the product is pretty much a given. So when you show up to buy a Ram truck or a Dodge Charger or Challenger, that's a given that you say, "Oh, I want to take a look at this." But then you got to jump up to the first 3 Ps. Who are you doing business with, and what kind of seamless process they're going to take you through without all the back and forth. One thing, where are your big high marked up addendums, Zach? Come on, buddy.
Well,
what's the deal?
Yes, sir. We're not the norm in the business. You said it. People and process. We like to say that we're in the people business. We just happen to sell cars.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, all I can tell people is how we do business here and what they won't experience. We'll never advertise a price online that we can't stand behind. You're right. We don't have addendums on cars. Even through COVID, we never had addendums. We never had market adjustments. Not on specialty cars. Not on hard to find units. It's just not something we do.
Well, a lot of times you wind up taking the consumer so far out of the market. I did a study the other day, a couple of months back, and I reached out to so many people that bought vehicles during COVID, and the average person is about $14,000 in the toilet. And most of it is market adjustment and addendums.
Of course. And from day one when this started, we wanted our customers to be able to come back and trade in with us again.
Right.
And we wanted people to see that we weren't here to take advantage of a bad situation. I mean, we just wanted
Well,
to
that
help.
could be a bad situation if you've loaded them down too much and they come back and you can't help them out of that.
Oh, they're going to find out sooner or
And
later.
you're the one that sold them that vehicle in the first place. That's not
Absolutely.
what you're wanting. You want them to feel comfortable to come back and know you can help them the next time with their kids or grandkids or everybody around.
Again, like I said, it's all about future business, right? Being able to take care of these people for generations. I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on.
Yeah, the sad part is there's so many military guys that bought these high-dollar trucks all jazzed up and everything. Now they're heading overseas and calling me up. The one gentleman that called me the other day, he's $52,000 upside down.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, well, I got to get rid of this truck. I'm going to Germany. I went, I don't know what to tell you. So his dad called and said, what do we got to do? And I said, what do you mean, what do we got to do?
Pack it up and send it to Germany.
You got a choice. He can get a repossession, which the military is not going to be happy about.
No.
And he's not going to get his promotion, or you can't refinance because the vehicle's too far underwater, so you need to come up with some cash. And sure enough, the family got together and put up the $52,000 and bailed him out of the truck.
Wow.
And he goes, all of you guys went, time out. Let me set the record straight real quick. I don't get involved in transactions. I do bid trades. You go to my website, theautomotiveedge.com. If you click on Ask Kurt, I'll book out your trade. And because my motto is what, Bo?
Know before you go.
Yeah, we want to give you just basic information so when you get to the dealership, it's seamless. Let me tell you, this is not a nonprofit business. And when you go to work, you're not a nonprofit person. You need to make money when you go to work. These guys ain't. But you know what? There's a medium there. And we want to put you with the right people where there's the medium. And like Zach said, next 2-3 years, you come ready to trade, you're in a situation to trade.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Where you just don't have a prayer or a hope to get into another vehicle.
Or that you're
Let me
running
ask
down
you-
the street away from them, don't want to talk to them, right?
In
Wasn't
14
that my salesman I see going running down Plano Parkway?
Yeah, or he's out there with a sign. We'll work for food. In your 14 years, what would, if you were just to think back and go, some of the biggest changes that I've seen, and then I've got the $1 million question for you after that.
Wow. The industry has changed so much in 14 years, and I can't think of one single change that was the biggest. I think buyers are more educated.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing. People know what to look for. The internet has opened everything up.
Right.
The growth of leasing in our market, I think, is a big change. And we're
That's a good thing, though, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we're one of the stores leading that charge. I mean,
Super.
We definitely are very familiar and think it's a great way to help people, and it's excellent for our customers and for the health of the store. So.
Yeah, one thing I found that was amazing, the last seminar that I did, and I was talking to a little over 600 people, is that a lot of people were upset because the dealerships assumed that they knew so much being on the internet when actually those numbers have faded quite a bit. They do get online to look at a model or where to go or pricing everything, but as far as the meat and potatoes of the cars, the consumer still wants to hear about all the goodies. They still want what we always call the 6-point walk around.
Yes, sir.
They want to see the car. They want to know about the car. Why is, because cars aren't cheap anymore. Your average transaction last month was $46,850. That's a lot of money. Your average pre-owned automobile average transaction was a little over $27,000. I never thought I'd see numbers like this. So one thing I always tell, and I still train salespeople and work with salespeople, never cut the process short.
Right.
Don't assume that they spent all their time and lived on the internet about that particular model. You can be amazed how much they don't know that they're expecting you to give to them when they're spending this kind of money.
Absolutely. It's a huge decision. And the more informed you are as a sales professional and the more information that you can portray to the customer, the better. It makes them comfortable. I don't know that the internet, as far as pricing, I think can be more misleading than it is beneficial
Sure,
to people these days. Again, we pride ourselves on trying to be the opposite of that.
Well, one of the things I know you'd probably like is that when a buyer or a customer comes in, for them to be open about questions don't be shy. Don't I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm just,
of course.
That's not helping them. They need to come in and understand that when they come here, you want to treat them the way you want to be treated, and you are, and let them open up. Hey, open up. Let us know, what can we do? What questions do you have? What can I, show you or do to make you feel comfortable in your decision?
I think a lot of that is due to precondition or previous experiences.
Exactly.
And it can be alleviated with the attitude in the store, right? The
Correct.
Environment.
Definitely.
And when people walk through our doors, they see a very open and warm and inviting atmosphere. We're greeting people with a smile, asking how we can help, and it makes a big difference.
And professional, the way you dress, the way you look. I mean, it's really cool, man. I like it.
I appreciate that.
All right, I'm going to give you the automotive wand.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
And if there is one thing that you could change, you're
And
going
you
to say,
can't disappear with it.
that's right. They say, Zach Stanley, today's your day, buddy. We're going to let you make one major change in the auto industry. We're going to and we're going to carve it in stone. It's going to be good for the next 10 years. What do you think that change Zach would make?
I think transparent pricing.
Really?
Yeah, I think being completely transparent in all of your advertising, laying all your cards on the table, and just level that playing field for the customer.
Because a lot of consumers don't buy this because the way you advertise and you hear about it, we're the biggest, we're the best, we have over 1 million cars in stock, whatever the case may be. I will tell you this, Zach pays the same thing for the car
Yes, sir.
as they do in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Now, there might be a little bit difference in delivery fee, but they're paying the same for the car. Your big choice is who you're going to do business with.
Yes, sir.
For me, I was asked the other day if I could make one change. He goes, I hear you always hand that wand out. What would you do? I said, real simple for me. I would increase the margin for the salespeople. I think the greatest gift in the industry, in any industry, are good, and I want to quantify that, good salespeople. When I was selling cars,
1 minute.
it was a whole different world.
Yes, sir.
You know, the way we negotiated car deals. When I was selling trucks, I told you earlier, there was no price on the window sticker. But I think more money needs to go to the house, and the manufacturers continue to squeeze, and then you have the UAW out there kicking and screaming for more money. And when you have salespeople working 50-plus hours, sacrificing their time from family, friends, significant others, they should be compensated for that. And I think there needs to be a better spread from the manufacturer to the dealer to compensate these salespeople where we don't have turnover. You spend all this money educating them and training them. We want to keep them.
Sure, absolutely. I think, again, what's important to us is that we're
30
doing the
seconds.
best that we can in this market to take care of our customers.
Right.
We survive off that repeat and referral business, and we just want to be here to help.
And you got a name you can stand behind.
Yes,
And
sir.
make it another 100 years.
Yes, sir.
Zach, keep packing.
Yes, sir.
We'll look forward to the
Thank you,
housewarming.
Beautiful job.
And
You bet.
don't invite Bo to the house.
I'm coming anyway. I've invited myself.
Thanks for having us
All
out
right,
today.
you bet.
I used
Thank
to live
you,
in
guys.
Carrollton.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190 live. Huff Finds Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here on Plano Parkway. Stop out, say hello. We'll be right back.
Awesome job. Be safe out there. Good luck on the move and everything. Yeah, we'll see you again, okay? And we're glad to be back here each and every Saturday morning here on the Automotive Edge radio show. Moving just a hair, Kurt.
Good morning, Billy Taylor, Rick Wick. How are you this morning? I missed a bunch of people coming in here.
James Garrett says Happy Mother's Day, Kurt.
Linda Davis, good morning.
Move in here this way. There you go. That's too far. No, that's. Can you back way up? Yeah, we're here. Huff Finds. Now, is it Jeep first? Jeep, Chrysler.
CDJR, Chrysler Jeep Dodge and
Okay.
Ram.
I know y'all have it down like that. I need to memorize that. Huff Finds here in Plano, Texas on 4500 West Plano Parkway. Come out and see us and meet the fine folk here because they're ready to take care of you really, really, really well. Really, really well. And don't forget that it is Mother's Day tomorrow. So be sure and make sure you give a big old hug to your mom and make sure you take care of her and do what you should have been doing for the last 364 days. Don't wait just to one day. They should treat their moms like that every day, don't they, Kurt? Shouldn't they, Kurt?
Do what?
I know it's a special day, Mother's Day, but they should treat their mother every day like they would be tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole thing. And somebody said, Harmon, good morning, Kurt and Bo, he says. Harmon, how you doing, buddy? I want to get with you sometime and go with you to one of your music gigs you go to. Did you see some of the stuff he posted with those guys dancing? It's pretty cool.
Who?
Harmon. He went to some place, where was it, McKinney? I don't know, Plano, or one of those places.
Let me tell you what, he's always out shaking up with all the pretty ladies.
I know.
Yeah, he's a stud.
No, he's no doubt about it.
Every time you turn around, and he's not just with one, he's got like 3 or 4.
He says, come on, well, I'm ready.
He's out shaking it up all the time.
The only problem is I don't know when you're doing it and all that. I just see the aftermath of the people dancing and the people playing music and all that.
Oh, yeah. They're out there cutting up, having a time of it.
So I just need to know next time, buddy.
Yep.
Come pick me up because I know we're pretty close to being neighbors. I'll let you be my Uber driver.
It doesn't take much for you.
No.
2 months and $10,000
Maddie, could you do me a
off select
favor?
F-150 models right now during Truck
Turn
Month
that
at Grapevine Ford.
radio off.
Call 844-880-7344.
Thank you so much. I love you.
Yeah, those reads are wrong on the commercials I turned in.
30 seconds.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
Yeah, Norm Reeves Honda RH.com.
RH.
Or NR.com.
Did you send it right or did they just read it wrong?
I always do, because it's got to go to co-op.
Right, I got you.
10 seconds.
Thank you. We need to figure a way to have Maddie join us live sometime. I guess it's in the studio.
We would like to take this time to say thank you for flying with us today here on the AutomotiveEdge.com Flight 101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try to exit through the exit door. 3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We are here to help and make sure your automotive needs are taken care of. Even if you just want to go kick tires, you want to shop, you're not ready to buy, we want to make sure that you're taken care of. And right now, there's a lot of you moms and dads out there with, and I get it, not a whole lot of cash flow, and you're looking for very inexpensive cash cars, and they're very, very difficult to find. In fact, I already have 5 people that went out and bought a cash car, and they bought some sleds. Sleds, hoopties, bad buckets of bolts. I got all the cliches for used cars. And now they're asking, what do they do? And I can't help you. Best thing is to, take the car over to Driver's Edge Auto Repair, let them know you're listening to the show, and try to save some money getting the car fixed and repaired. But remember, all of this rain that's going on in the great state of Texas, there's so many flood cars down south that are going to be coming to the Metroplex. It's inevitable. They're going to open them up and dry them out and pull the seats and pull the carpet and clean them up and put all the foo-foo down in the vents and make these cars smell nice and look nice. And you're buying yourself a watered-down bucket of bolts. And once you buy that car from that person and they dry and you leave, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they will not be there. when you go back to find out what just happened with your automobile. So remember, with Driver's Edge Auto Repair, you have the $35 check it before you buy it. Make your appointment. You go to mydriversedge.com. That's mydriversedge.com. Tell them you're listening to the radio show and you want to get the car checked out. From headlight to taillight, only $35. No one in town will touch it. Nobody will. They don't even want to touch it. If they're not doing work on it, they don't care. And then what you do is, we had one the other day. It needed about $2,400 worth of work. The guy said, well, I'm not going to sell the car. Well, he called him back and he goes, well, what if I took $1,800 off? So he took the $1,800 off the price, and then the people took the car back to Driver's Edge, got all the work done, and then I got a 2-year warranty on the vehicle, and the kiddo's going to be heading off to Tulane University in their very nice pre-owned car.
They can feel comfortable about him driving.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. There's so many moms and dads, and I get it. You know, times are tough, inflation, everything that's going on, and you're counting your nickels, dimes, and quarters. I get it. But to go out and buy a $10,000 car, buyer beware. $12,000 car, buyer beware. Unless it's a family member, somebody you know the car, you've gotten it checked out, and they're doing you a favor instead of, selling it to a dealer or trading it in. They're just giving you a good deal on it. That's the only cars I would not get checked out. And just because they look good and smell good and feel good doesn't mean it's a good car. It's real easy to put lipstick on a pig and, call it a cow. You need to get the vehicle checked out and make sure that, it's expensive to work on cars. The price on parts have gone through the roof. Labor's gone through the roof. And so the last thing you want to do is buy a car and then just realize, what did I do? And I can tell you a million stories. Maybe not a million, a couple hundred.
Well, you're old enough to tell them a million stories.
It could be. That people went out and spent their hard-earned money and got shafted and didn't realize what they were doing, what they were buying, what they were getting involved with. And they're at the point of no return. They can't be helped. So I'm telling you now.
Well, there's nothing worse than being bogged down in a vehicle. And there's probably a lot more people that's done that than not.
Yep.
Over the years. Just that one mistake can really affect you for a long period of time.
Yep.
Because you either have to deal with it for a long time or roll it into another note. Like if you're underwater, then you go get another vehicle. They've got to roll that in, and so it's just if you make that bad mistake, it follows you for a long time.
I had a person that called me and said, "Hey, what do I do? I bought this car, and my son had a flat, no jack, no tools, and a ball to spare." I said, "You're calling me for what do I do?" I said, "What do you mean? What do you do? What do you do? Where do I get?" You know what? Go to a parts store. I don't know what to tell you. Well, I went up and they're not helping me with, and I went, there's a checklist. Every time that you're buying a used car, there's a checklist. What service was done? If you're buying it from an individual, do you have any books and records? Where did you get the car serviced? And do you know how to look at a used car? Do you know how to look at it?
How to inspect it, really, basically what you're talking about.
There's so many
just
people.
To look at it, that's where a lot of problems happen is people just look and think, hey, man, pretty shiny. Nice armor all on the tires.
Yeah.
Engine's all shiny, man. Let's go.
Got that pretend new car smell in it.
Got it. It's sprayed all over everything. So the look is not the issue. It's the inspection of it.
That's right.
And that's where you need help. And if you think that you've got it figured out, that could be that big mistake you're making. So you need to get in touch with Kurt by going to theautomotiveedge.com. Click on Ask Kurt. Put your phone number, say, I'm looking at this, pre-owned vehicle. I'd like to get your opinion of it.
So I had a guy, he said, Kurt, I know you know a lot about cars, but I've looked this car over really well. And so I went and looked at the car, right? And we're standing there, and I said, does he have the title of the car? He said he does. And he looked at it, and I said, buddy, this car's a total repaint. He goes, what do you mean it's a total repaint? The title says blue. I said, I'm well aware what the title said, but it's been a total repaint. And he goes, he started the whole thing with, because I'm not buying from one of your sponsors, you want to kick the deal. I'm like, you know what? It's got nothing to do with buying from the sponsor. It's about making sure you have the right deal.
Right.
So we're standing there, and the guy comes out, and I says, hey, got a couple questions about the car. And he goes, and you are? I said, I'm a buddy of his. He just called me to check it out.
Blue.
And so I'm going through the whole car, and I said, has this car ever been painted? He goes, I'm not sure. I'm going,
the guy selling it didn't even know.
Here's the funny part. Guess what's in the glove box?
A receipt for where he had it painted.
Herb's Paint and Body. And guess whose name's on it?
His.
The seller.
He just didn't remember.
He didn't remember. Had your car totally repainted.
Yeah.
So I said, do you mind if I look in the glove box at all of your receipts and everything? He said, go ahead. I'm going, this guy is just unbelievable. And so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. So I said, so is this car, he goes, I don't understand your point. And I said, well, let's just be clear about this. This receipt here said there was $6,200 worth of work done to this car, and it was totally repainted. Oh, well, that was a long time ago. I thought you meant recently.
It's settled into the car by now. No problem.
I'm going.
It's doing fine. There's no problems.
And so the guy's going, does that make it a bad car? I said, absolutely not.
No.
Now let's take a look at the work that was done to the car. And it was mainly hail damage. And at that time, they didn't do the PDR. Plus, there was a lot of paint work that was in the different sills. When you have your pillars, that has to be body work. You can't get in there to pop it out.
I gotcha.
And I looked at it. I said, yeah, this is still a pretty tight car. I'm looking at the maintenance on it, regular maintenance, every 3,500, 4,000 miles, new oil. Everything looked really good on it as far as everything maintenance wise. And I said, I'd buy this car, but I wouldn't buy it for what he's asking for it. And the guy, he overheard it. He's like, what would you buy it for? I said, well, I'd give you
30 seconds.
I gave him a number. He goes, that's impossible. I said, well, I'm not the money man here. It's him, but this is what I would pay for the car. And they wound up working out a deal. But be careful when you don't know. Just because the title says clean and it has a color on it doesn't mean the car is clean.
Yeah, exactly.
214-787-1190. Live today. Huff Finds Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. Come on by and see us. Plano Parkway, right off Preston Road. Quick break. We'll be right back.
So I saw the other day that they listed the top 5 worst things to be on a pizza, and I sent it to you. Anchovies.
No, that's just wrong. That's not true.
I sent it to you.
Had to be bell peppers.
Bell peppers is not.
I don't want bell peppers on nothing.
Well, I don't mind
And
bell
nasty.
peppers.
Bell peppers are nasty.
On nothing? Not even a stir fry or nothing?
No, nothing. What are? Girl, you've never even eaten an anchovy.
I have. My parents make me try everything.
Your dad likes anchovies.
That's a lie.
Yeah, I don't know anybody likes anchovies except Kurt.
You know what's funny? Is there's so many recipes where I cook anchovies in it for the flavor, and everybody goes nuts, but I don't tell them.
Yeah.
In all of my sauces, all of my tomato sauces, there's anchovy.
See, that's why I won't eat your house every now that I know the recipe and everything you cook, yeah, it'll be over.
I don't share it with
I'm
anybody.
going to come over and you're going to have a cook, and I'm going to be like your son. I'm going to go down to Chipotle and get
He's back here working now. Eat for free.
Good for him.
He's working 2 jobs now.
Well, he's the man that works. He likes working there. I'll tell you,
he went by there to do his application, and the lady goes,
forget it. Just come on.
oh, you're an assistant manager. Yeah, could you help us out right now? He was in his regular clothes back there.
Forget the application, right?
Flipping food.
Well, they also said that one of the healthiest fishes is what?
Salmon.
No, sardines.
Oh, sardine. I love sardines.
I know you do, but I was shocked. They said that's not like between that and salmon. Actually, they put sardines number 1 is the healthiest fish to eat with less mercury and the more of the protein, all the healthy stuff.
I like
canned sardines
in olive oil. I don't like it in the mustard oil or whatever. I
just can't eat something that's looking right at me like that.
You got a head on it.
Huh?
They cut the heads off.
They do now?
Yeah, it's just the body.
Well, my parents used to see them. They had their eyeballs and everything.
Yeah, well, my grandfather used to just hold the head and then pull the meat off the bone.
So they don't do that anymore?
No.
The heads on any of
Heads
them?
are off, depending on where you buy them, but most
Have
of
the
the time
tails
heads are
too?
gone. Tails are on there. They're edible.
I just don't know. Do you just eat them raw like that right out of the
Yeah,
can?
we used to have that key. You put the tab on it,
Oh,
roll it
yeah.
back.
Oh,
and
yeah.
My pop-up and I would
My
sit there with
dad
some
liked
crackers
sardines.
and
He did the same thing.
eat them up.
Well, like, man, that's poor man's hors d'oeuvre, isn't it?
Oh, man, my grandfather, he'd give me
30 seconds.
Here's $1. And then I knew what would deal with it. I'd go up and get 3 cans of Captain somebody's sardines, and I'd get a dime, and he goes, you need to turn that into candy. Yes, sir.
Sardines and candy.
I'm telling you. Me and Papa, we'd eat a can apiece.
5 seconds.
That's crazy, man. I've had them before, but it's been so long ago, I don't remember. I don't remember what they really taste like.
Boy, Maddie is here.
All right, I'm checking. I can't.
Who is that, Maddie?
It's Diamond Rio.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It sounded familiar. Like,
Nice.
I knew it was a country group, but I didn't know who.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Howdy to Eddie.
Yes,
Mejia?
he is
that right?
He lives in Ponder, and he's a big TCU buddy.
All right.
And I've never met him physically, but we're Facebook friends, and he loves his TCU, and he watches us on a regular basis. Appreciate you.
You just like TCU because of the colors.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But I did like them when they were good, too. Full farm every time they were winning.
I hear you.
I love Patterson. I thought he was fantastic.
Oh, Gary Patterson. You know, now he is some type of guy with the University of Texas. Oh, fine, thank you. I forgot what he's doing, but it has something to do with the University of Texas.
Yeah, it's kind of isn't that kind of sacrilegious to do that?
You know, you got them bills to pay.
Well, I figured he got enough money in TCU to pay him.
Yeah. Well, some of these guys is just in their blood. You look at, what was it, Jimbo Fisher? They gave him $90 million guarantee. They fired him, and they still got to pay him the whole $90 million.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Well, he can't get another job.
Hey, let's get him on the show.
You know, isn't it amazing?
I don't think we'd have to pay him.
You won't believe how many coaches have forfeited these millions and millions of dollars of guarantee just to get back on the field coaching.
Well, I can see that. I mean, if it's in your blood, if you're doing nothing and you still have a lot of money, but even way more money than you need, it's okay. They'll come back. I believe in that. It's not all about the money. It's about your life.
Yeah.
And if you can do what you're like
passionate about.
Right. Great. What Ron Washington said, do what you do when you do.
That's
You're
right.
a lot happier.
That's right. And what is he, 70-something years old and out there coaching in California?
Yeah, they're not doing very well, I don't think, right now.
No.
So.
Yeah, the Angel and the A's. Well, the A's are moving.
4,000 people they had at the game the other day. Less than 4.
Yeah, they had 2,800 and something. I went, how do you pay your bills?
Well, they're going to be moving out of there. I think they're headed for Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's what. Well, they're heading up. I forgot where they're going. Somewhere else than Las Vegas is 5 years away because they just leveled that big hotel in that whole area to build the stadium. So they're moving from. I forgot what other stadium they're moving to prior to.
Still in California somewhere?
Yeah, I think Sacramento or somewhere.
Gotcha. AAA ball club.
Who knows? God, what a sad day.
I bet the AAA's bringing in more people than them. Yeah, but, that's sad. I don't know why. What is it just because of the stadium? I mean, the team's been around forever. The swinging A's.
The Raiders.
Yeah, well, the Raiders were good about flopping around. The owner did that all the time.
Yeah, they went from the Oakland to the L.A. Raiders, now the Las Vegas
But
Raiders.
then we went back to Oakland.
Yeah.
Before they went to L.A. To Las Vegas.
Yeah, Al Davis Jr.
Yeah, they love swapping around.
We have the second coming of Al Davis.
Well, I'd be okay if they moved.
There you go.
They could move to Oklahoma City for all I
Go to San Antonio. Let's start another Dallas Cowboy team.
There you go. I like it.
214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Eldorado Chevrolet, 8-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. I was just talking to Jason Lawing the other day, and they're rocking and rolling. They're not missing any deals. You got 2 franchises side by side. Stop in and see him. He is the man, the myth, the legend. And, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but they have a barber shop there.
Yeah, I know that.
I didn't understand that it's different on a barber shop because of the pole.
Yeah,
if you're a barber, you got to have a pole, and I forgot the meaning of it.
Yeah, there's a certain thing that they graduated with.
Yeah, with the red, white, and blue pole.
And I think it's with their little thing clippers.
Someone needs to call in and tell us why the barbers have that barber pole. But anyway, the place, Eldorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75. Tire kickers are welcome, and he's got, get this, brand new 2024 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab, $36,995. $36,995. $5,200 off Equinox, or $269 a month, no money out of pocket, first payment only on a Chevy Equinox. And the list just goes on and on and on. They're not playing around. You want to find new roads in a Chevrolet from Eldorado Chevrolet in McKinney, 972-569-0101, or online all the time at EldoradoChevy.com. So what do you think were the top-selling products last year, this last month? Just
like a certain I would say.
Let's go car, truck, SUV.
I'm going to say the Toyota Camry. Stop.
That would be
okay.
Buzzer number 1.
Honda Accord.
That would be buzzer number 2.
About out. The cane's about to come get me. The Chevrolet.
That would be strike 3, pal. You're going to be traded to the Oakland A's. Mid-size SUVs.
Oh, they're back going hot
Killing
again?
it right now. That's the hot market.
Because all the SUVs kind of died for a while.
They did, and now it's hybrid technology, and the small and mid-size SUVs are the market.
Wow.
Killing it. Just killing it. That's where the money is.
Is there a particular one that is leading the pack?
Yep. So let's take a look. Hybrid sales jumped 60% in the month of April. 60%.
We're not that surprised, are we?
Nearly all of them are gasoline hybrids, 59%. It accounted for 36% of Toyota sales.
Wow.
So a third of their sales were hybrid vehicles. That's where the deal is.
Well, we talked about that a long time ago.
Yep, up from 27% a year ago. Hybrid sales jumped 6% to $17,997. Hyundai through the roof with the hybrid Elantra, Tucson, and Santa Fe. Honda hybrids represent 51% of Accord sales.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible. 46% of their CRV
30 seconds
are all hybrid sales.
Wow.
We got that talk about and a whole lot more. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Huff Fines, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. Come on out. We're going to be here the noon hour. We'll be right back.
Wrap it up.
Shut up. Did she say shut up?
She said shut up.
She said shut up.
I said wrap it up.
That's not what you said, Maddie. You said shut up.
I heard shut up.
Wow.
I like that better than wrap it up.
Man, she's...
I could never say shut up. I said we got to wrap it up.
She's really...
putting the muscle into it.
Jumping on that deal now. You know, we give her all these cliches and all of these kudos and everything else, and she's just like, bam, right in the mouth.
Gary Coker.
You guys take so long to get out.
I'm trying to hit it on the point.
Mark Laros.
Listen, Maddie, he's only been in radio for 20 years. You got to cut him a little slack. He's still learning.
I'll go back to the drawing board.
He's still in.
I'll go back.
Thank you.
He's still in the apprentice state.
You got time? Yeah, it'd be good to have him on.
And so everybody here on Facebook, thank you for being a part. And on YouTube, we are on YouTube as well, and that's the Automotive Edge Radio Show. So if you Google that for YouTube, go there. You got to make sure that you search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Put Radio Show in there. You'll find us. And we'd like to ask you, we did a little earlier, if you wouldn't mind going there to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Then hit subscribe, because the more we can get the muscle going there, more subscribers, it'll help boost the show to be seen more on YouTube. So we do appreciate if you're doing that.
Make sure they bring a business card so I can record.
So, and Gary Coker says, a great purple morning to the dynamic duo, Big Wheels Bo Carver and my best friend.
Yeah,
Kurt
hello,
Chase.
Gary.
Yeah, boy, whatever.
I love Gary.
He's getting old.
Who is?
Gary.
No, he's not.
He's getting old.
He's 10 years younger than you.
I don't even think he knows about what purple color he is anymore.
He's 10 years younger than you.
10. No,
Yeah, he is.
He acts like it.
I remember meeting Gary out there in Justin.
Yes. He and his
Him
lovely wife.
Yeah, him and his lovely wife are out there having burgers with him.
They've sent me pictures I need to post on Facebook of their shirts that they got. That pink that she got was dynamite.
Yeah.
That really
Ty did a good job. My son does good work with
Yeah,
those.
he did really good with that.
Yeah, so we got some new shirts being designed next week.
Cool.
And so everybody that got a shirt, I'm sure you want the new edition. I'm hoping you do. You'd make me feel good if you said yes.
I still haven't got the new edition.
Well, your black ones are being made.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got 2XLs.
No, I want a large, long sleeve.
Oh, I thought you said 2XL.
I want a triple X.
Oh, I'm sorry. That'd be for me.
There you go. But, yeah, if you don't mind, let everybody know. We need to let people on the radio know to go to YouTube and subscribe to that channel.
Good morning, Cindy. Miss
Beauclair.
Cindy Vika Banquet, buddy.
Beauclair. Boy, it's so hard to find these things. I need to get the order of them.
And I want to give a shout out. We have a really good friend of mine, Bill Mitchell. Been in the hospital and going through a lot, and everyone say a prayer for Bill Mitchell. He
Does he
him and
live
his whole
locally here?
Lives in Irving. He's got 3 beautiful daughters, Becky, Cindy, and Melody, and his lovely wife, Pat, of I don't know how long they've been married, 60 years, and still live. I still know their address where they live in Irving. And good people. And he's had a few issues, and we're just praying God's favor over Bill Mitchell. Good
deal.
man. That man helps everybody in the world. There's nothing he can't do with his hands, from air conditioning to rebuilding cars to you name it.
Sounds like the
Bill can
Amish
do it.
Mafia.
Yeah.
Same kind of guys, so I know what you're talking about because they can do it all.
And he makes the best iced tea, and I don't know what he puts in it.
Probably real sugar.
No, it's not sweet tea.
It's not?
No, it's the best tasting.
He probably does that.
And it's sun tea. Somebody told me they put a teaspoon of baking soda in it. You ever heard of that?
No, but I know that Louisiana tea is the best quality tea.
What do you mean?
Louisiana, the name Louisiana, the brand.
Louisiana tea.
Yeah, and then they sun.
You make sun tea?
I've done it before, but I hadn't done it in a long time. We hadn't had a lot of sun. I make shadow tea. Cloudy tea. Hi.
I do it all
I'm
the
Bo.
time.
Glad to meet you. You joining us? Well, squeeze. Come on.
Rose, is that you? Do you remember me?
I wouldn't admit it if you did.
We dated and drove to the Sonic together. You don't remember me? Come on,
Come on in
Rose.
here and squeeze up in here.
My first girlfriend told me I was a bad kisser. Probably why you don't remember
Oh,
me.
I'm
But that was me and you used to cruise Sonic together and do like this when I was. Wasn't that me and you?
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. They kicked him out of Pennsylvania. Here, put those on. Long time ago. They won't let him back either.
All right, so what you got to do is take this part right here
Make sure it's right in your mouth.
and put it right by your mouth so everybody can hear you.
There you go.
All
Closer
right,
to
give me a
that.
check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
There you
We need
go.
one.
Rose is coming in.
There we go.
I hope my wife's not watching. Honey, Rose and I, we dated a long time ago, up in Pennsylvania. You didn't think we'd ever be reunited on a radio show together, did you?
At Huffines.
Good Huffines. Well, there you go.
So how long you been here?
June 4th will be 24 years.
You're not
all?
that old.
Yeah.
Is that
I
all?
am. Yeah.
Ah,
Moved to Texas
Would
in
you get
2000.
started at about 10?
Oh, that's nice.
What?
I like you guys already.
Already?
Yeah. You guys are my
I
new
took
guys.
the Dale Carnegie class. It's a beautiful place here.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you live in Plano?
30 seconds.
I live in Frisco.
Oh, okay, so that's not too bad.
Rose Serafino. I never thought we'd be reunited again. I was always wondering what happened to you.
Should always put the maiden name back in there.
Serafino.
Glenn
That's
is
gotta
my
be-
maiden
you
name.
gotta it's somebody that's Italian.
My
in there.
ex-husband. Yes, he has since passed away.
Oh,
15
sorry to hear
seconds.
that.
Yep, he is. He's up there with hanging out with my mother.
Eating pizza?
Yeah, good pizza in Philly
That's good.
and a
See
cheesesteak.
here.
All
Good
right.
morning to you, Cindy. Thanks, everybody, joining us on YouTube and all the Facebook availabilities. And I did not put the new one on.
I see
Hello,
that.
this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff.
This is what you came to work for today, huh?
And we should arrive at our destination.
What are you going to do today, Rose? I'm going to hang out on the radio.
Using the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services
Customers
again
will be
in the future.
upset.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge radio show, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. I'm your guy, bringing you 36 years of automotive experience from selling cars to running auto groups. Go to theautomotiveedge.com. That's theautomotiveedge.com. Click on Ask Kurt. Leave me your name and number. If you want to leave me a dissertation, you can. If you don't, that's fine, because I'm going to call you. I'm going to have my notes ready, and we're going to get you through this. It's college graduation and high school graduation time. Moms and dads are looking for those great used cars. There's a price point that I will talk to you about. I've upset a lot of people, and I didn't mean to, where they're blown away by what a good average used car costs. But we want to make sure your kids are safe. If I won't put my kids in it, I'm not going to recommend the car. Just that simple. 214-787-1190. Joining us all the way from Broadway, New York. She was on the show with Michael Jackson and the Oz. Our friend, Rose Serafino. Got to give her an applause there. How are you, Rose?
Good.
So let's talk about what Rose does, because you have one of the coolest jobs in the industry, because you get to have people pull up and need your help daily.
Yes, sir.
You know, we have the sales side of things where people may or may not need help, but we know when they pull up on the service drive, they're needing help.
Yes, sir.
And so how do you go about, this has always been important to me. When I was running dealerships and I would hang out on the service drive, because I had all my managers, I wrote service for a while. I did every part of the dealership. I don't want to just be the boss. I wanted to write service, and I wanted to work in the parts department and used cars. I did everything in the dealership to understand what everybody's position was. And that's a big position you have, because when that vehicle drives off, it's your responsibility to make sure it's in tip-top shape.
Absolutely. You know, I've been here since 2000, and I have a lot of wonderful customers, so that come on a regular basis. You just try to put yourself in their position and try to take care of them best that you can within.
You want to treat them like you want to be treated.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Honesty, the best policy.
There you go.
Can't do something, you can't do it. But
Well, you've seen since I've been in the industry 36 years. I started back when there was no prices on the window sticker for pickup trucks quite some time ago. But you've seen in 24 years how expensive it is now to work on cars.
Absolutely.
When I remember looking at the internal costs on the ROs, and I was going, wow, you know, this is pretty good. We can be competitive with whatever. And then those labor hours started jumping
Parts,
up, and then parts, and then you had all the shipping problems and everything. And so you've got to be really to the point of what they need and don't need. And I always talk about on my show, I always tell people, you don't need to winterize your car in Texas. You don't need to summerize your car. You just need to do good maintenance.
yeah, exactly.
And so when people pull up, what is your approach to them? I mean, it has to be relation-based.
Yeah. You know, I treat them like their family and find a commonality. We always find a commonality that we're all into, whether it be schools or areas, sports.
Right.
Yeah. And we, like I said, I am so blessed to have so many wonderful customers that come here and just, you know, you build a relationship with people, you know, when their husbands pass away or their wives pass away. And, you know, it's like a family. It really is.
And they're entrusting you with something with their life because when they get behind the wheel of the car, it's got to be right.
Well,
what are you seeing? Go ahead, Bud.
I was going to say, we say a lot of times on the show that you have a good dentist, you have a good doctor, you have a good attorney if you ever need one. You want that anyway. So what you more importantly need is a good service advisor.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to know when they come here. They're going to get it with you.
And we are very blessed to have our technicians base that has been here. A lot of them mostly 30 years.
So how fantastic is that?
Yeah, it just goes to show a reputation for the dealership.
So what are your biggest recommendations when people are bringing the cars into, you know, we have the extreme Texas, well, we never know what the weather's going to be like in Texas, but what do you discuss with the consumers about maintaining their car, about what the most important things are and things to look at?
Oil change, tire rotations, of course, are going to be the most important.
That's true.
With the newer vehicles, there's less maintenance. Your coolant and transmission are kind of way out there now, so you really don't do that. Tune-ups are $100,000, a lot of them. So just the basics, your differential services and your injection cleaner, keep that thing running, just clean. But pretty much, like I said, the newer vehicles with the maintenance extended so long out now, you really don't need to do as much.
Right.
Are you having people come to you and ask you about transmission flushes?
Yeah, and then we tell them, well, you have an 8-speed and you do not need to do that. So, because they're lifetime,
because you remember
a lot of them.
as well as I do years ago. I mean, that
every 30.
Everybody was coming around selling the machines to the dealers to blow out that transmission and clean them out. And in a lot of ways, that wasn't a good thing to do based on what the mileage was on the vehicle.
Chrysler does not recommend. We do not have a flush machine for transmissions.
Wow.
We only do a drain and refill because, according to Chrysler, from way back, it breaks down the seals in the transmission. So we service it. We do not flush it. Now we will flush a coolant system, but not the transmission.
What if somebody's in a hurry, wants to get a quick oil change? Can you help them?
Yep, we have an express lube now, and they're usually out within 45 minutes.
Wow,
how do you like me now? 45 minutes.
There's one.
And do you do the recommendation on the oils? Or a lot of people, are they savvy to go, hey, Rose, put this kind of oil in there? Can they pick their own kind of oil and make their choice, or do you do the recommendations here?
We do a full synthetic, and a lot of Chrysler has a really good program. You can get 3 full synthetic oil changes, again, on a synthetic. Diesel's different, and some of your SRTs are a little different, but the full synthetic basic oil change is 3 oil changes for $150, good for 2 years at any Chrysler dealership anywhere in the country.
How do you like me now?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's a really good plan.
It is.
Yeah, because everything's different. Everybody's got their flavor, especially when you get into your SRT, your Hellcats, your jailbreaks, your red eye, your wide bodies. Everybody has their own little flavor on what they like. What about tires? Can you help them with tires here?
Absolutely. We do when you purchase a vehicle here or get tires here, we do a free tire rotation. Chrysler also, we offer tires, but Chrysler twice a year. We'll do buy 3, get 1 for $1, and a lot of my customers wait for that.
Wow, that's insane.
They do it in October and November, and they do it in March and April. So, it's a really good deal.
You know, I enjoyed the short term that I wrote service, and just sitting down and talking with people, and you're going to find out so much on the service side of things, being a service advisor, about these people's lives, because they start sharing, where do you go? How often do you drive? Do you take it on vacation? And like you said, all of a sudden you're just building these phenomenal relationships. And being here 24 years, I'm sure your pipeline is pretty full.
Yeah, like I say, I always say I'm very blessed to, you're always going to have some issues. I mean, you're going to have the one that's going to be frustrated, or the customer that's never been here before, that's, doesn't know how we work, and then I've had people just come back and be your new best friend. So
What about non-Dodge brands they need an oil change?
the Express Lube guys will do that. They usually have the consumer call ahead to make sure the filters are there when they
Right.
get there. Yeah, they can do that. And the Chrysler, as long as it falls into that criteria with the full synthetic and it's not a highline, vehicle, they can do the same program with Chrysler.
Yeah, I always tell people the most important part of your car are your tires, because even you'll get your low pressure, your maintenance lights, or one of your dummy lights coming on, you will with your oil. But the one thing is to always maintain the air pressure and rotating those tires, because when they blow, there's no dummy lights going, hey, your tire's fixing to blow.
No.
It'll tell you when your air pressure's down, but people are like, why is that? That's just, it is the most important. But you got to realize also that the car is, the tires are carrying the weight of the car, the weight of the drivers and everything that's in it, and maintain your tires. I can't say that enough, where you have no control when it goes to pop. Everything else is going to pop up on a dummy switch. If you're low on fluids, time for an oil change, your lights, all your sensors and everything. Maintain your tires, and I'm sure you remember the LOFs.
Yes, LOFs. I remember handwriting tickets before we had computers. That was fun.
That's right. We used to have LOF lane 1, LOF lane 2, and the guys would come out and pick it, but we didn't have quick loops then.
Yeah.
It was still, you're going to wait a couple hours to get an oil change, but times have changed. But
Now it's LOL.
LOL. It's LOL. It is. Yes,
We used
sir.
to think there was lots of love.
I did too.
I got in trouble all the time. Like,
I never
Dude,
understood.
you love me?
Do you think of how much fun we had before the internet?
No, tell me about it. Exactly.
That's right. It was a different time. Well, come on out and meet Rose. She's a service advisor here at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram here on Plano Parkway. And there's nothing, and Bo couldn't have said any better. I always tell people that you love having a good doctor ready to go. You love having a good dentist if you have that toothache, and you love having a good mechanic and service advisor taking care of your car. The worst thing is to go out and not start, or it need this or it need that, and it's always good
And
to
not
be
know
able
where
to
to
pick up
really
the phone
go.
and go, hey, come on in. There's nothing better when you have a service advisor that says, come on in, we'll take care of you. And when you've had somebody here 24 years, and you 24/7, you're concerned about
1
that
minute.
automobile, that's the hookup. Come meet Rose out here at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Plano. Rose, great seeing you again.
you.
All right.
Great job.
out.
Awesome
Thank
job.
you.
Enjoyed it. Quick break, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Don't go away. Join us on the Automotive Edge Facebook page, on YouTube, Bo's Facebook page,
Yeah.
Kurt's Facebook. We're everywhere. Come join us. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
It was an awesome job. Appreciate it. Did fantastic. We were so happy to. We were happy to have somebody had some beauty on this radio show. Take care. Nice meeting you. You can leave that back. I think. Awesome. They scaredy? They scared? Bo Carver, good to meet you. And Facebook, we appreciate y'all being a part of our broadcast today. Don't forget to like and share the show. If you're tuned into the show right now, if you see the little white arrow at the top left-hand corner, click on that. It'll take you out. You'll still see us. And then right underneath that, you can see a share. Hit that share button, and then it's going to ask you to share now or share again. Hit that. Then it goes to everybody on your timeline. So it would help them to know that we're here to help them with any of their automotive needs. And they want to tune in, they can. If they don't have to, but it'll help them because we're trying to help them. And Clinton Moore, good morning to you too as well. Jackie Shapiro, good morning to you too. So Ronnie Swain, Ronnie Swain. It's just rocking along here with people tuning in. We appreciate that. then when you get through sharing the show, you can click back on and join us and make the comments and do all the things you would like to do with us here. Ask questions. Again, I'd like to ask you to go to the YouTube page, go to youtube.com, then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and then subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better that it'll get out there. As people go to YouTube, it'll pop up a little sooner and better and quicker. So we appreciate you doing that. We're relatively new, just a few weeks there on YouTube, so we're trying to get that to grow. And if I can ever get Kurt waking up one day in the next month or two, we might be on LinkedIn.
We'll get it done. Morning to Robert. How are you? Clint, good morning. Jackie, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the radio show. Give us a call if you want to chime in, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. And follow us on Bo's Facebook page, Bo Carver.
And Kurt Chase.
The Automotive Edge, YouTube.
Then now you have to go to the Automotive Edge Radio Show on YouTube.
That's right.
And then also Shifting Gears.
Yep. So
Charles,
you got 7 different ways to watch us live.
And we're going to add that hopefully in another couple of years.
Yeah, and remember, we're running 1190 to the noon hour now.
Right. Be sure and
so, yeah, a lot of people were calling me and contacting me going, hey, what's going on? You want to stay live all the way through to the noon hour. Do not flip that dial. We'll know if you flipped. I'm telling you right now, we'll have the federal government at your front door if you flip that dial and get off before noon.
We know where you live.
I'm telling you, we'll call the IRS on you. We'll call everybody. You have to listen to the show till noon or else.
Charles Davis says it's rocking and rolling out here in Lubbock. Some good thunderstorms. Nice morning, having a cup on the back porch, coffee on the back porch. Nice. Get them everywhere, all over the place.
30. Yeah.
30 seconds.
Maddie Gomez back in studio.
Well, she's a little abrupt today.
She's just,
You're just taking it way too personally.
No, I think she's like a good coach. Like, hey, no nonsense. We're going to go play this game.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
We're going to win it.
I can't tell you the last time I was told to shut up.
Hope she does it again.
Man, she's an old rock and roll soul right here. I had no idea. I'm looking at Maddie in a whole different way. Well, we need to pick the day and announce the pizza party.
We got to find out what's going on with the Mavericks and what's going on.
Are you doing are the Mavericks on 1190?
No, they are on KGL. They play today at 2:30.
On the Eagle?
Yeah, on the Eagle.
So that's the whole thing. We couldn't do it today because you're still doing the Mavericks, right?
Yeah, I worked like 12 hours today.
Oh, wow. No wonder she's a little cranky.
I'm not cranky. Trying to get through the day.
I know. I'm just picking.
Hey, I electronically paid her.
Oh, wow.
I'm so proud of them. I did 2 people this last week, electronically paid them. I couldn't believe it. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. This segment of the show is brought to you by the folks at Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills. I was just there the other day talking to Tyler, the general sales manager, and I walked the inventory, and the inventory is packed with Hondas. And here's the thing, the Accords now only come, well, you can soon will be only hybrids, but the Honda Accord hybrid is off the charts in sales right now. It is off the chart, and they've got a bunch of them. The CRV hybrid off the chart in sales. So there's a lot of great inventory with a lot of good people, and all these vehicles need homes, and Tyler is not missing a car deal. Plus, he is stepping up his trade inventory, used car inventory. His trade-ins are down a little bit. He doesn't want to go to the auction. He wants your trade. And you can beat the bank with a ton of fantastic rates at Norm Reeves Honda Superstore in North Richland Hills. Find them online at normreeveshondanrh.com. That's normreeveshondanrh.com.
Before you get going, I want to let everybody know on the radio that we're here every Saturday morning on Talk Radio 1190 AM KFXR from 8 to noon. We had switched for a little while, about a year, to was called 97.1 The Freak, but now that's gone, and we're back to the 4 hours on Talk Radio 1190. Also, we're on Facebook, on the Automotive Edge Facebook page. But we're also on YouTube. And if you would like to join us on YouTube, go to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. And if you wouldn't mind going there and hit the subscribe, whether you listen to us there on the radio or on Facebook, that'll help. We just got on there just a few weeks ago, and it'll help really boost the feeds where more people can get a feel for what's happening with us on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, we appreciate it. That's youtube.com, and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show and subscribe.
There you go. Always like and share. That way, everybody sooner or later is going to need help with their automotive needs.
Correct.
And we don't broker car deals with the dealer. We don't broker them with you. We just tell you, if we saved you time, volunteer. If we saved you money, pay it forward. It's just that simple. Phone lines are open, 214-787-1190. Good morning, Charlie Davis. How are you, brother? Out in the great city of Lubbock, Texas.
He's got thunderstorms out there.
Red Raider football.
Is it coming?
Yep, won't be long. It'll be rock and rolling out there.
For their spring game? I figured they probably
spring
already had
game's
it.
coming up.
Oh, figured they probably already had it.
Yep. Black and red game. What do they do? Shoot them up?
I don't know what they do.
Yeah, they do. Shoot them up. Yeah, we just had a friend of ours, Cal Gregg. He was my son's very first friend when we moved to Keller. And his sister, I cannot believe it, Sadie, graduated from Texas Tech the other day.
How about that?
How did that happen?
Well, my son just completed his sophomore year at Tarleton State University, and you've seen that kid when he was about 8 years old, I guess, huh?
I remember he was that little kid sitting in the studio. He started talking. I went, how do you know that?
I know.
Where did you find that out? And he goes, I just know. and he did.
And had a great delivery while he was doing it on the radio.
Yeah.
He was
and if he did not mind questioning anybody.
No.
And he wondered, why do you say that? How did you come up with that? You better back it up with facts.
Yep.
Because he'd call you out on your opinion. He had no problem with it.
No
Love
doubt.
that, Graham.
Yeah.
214-787-1190 is the number. Here is a manufacturer that is on fire right now, and there's a great reason. That's Mazda. Their CX-50 is up 63%. The CX-90 is through the roof. The new CX-70, so you got a bunch of CXs. You got your CX-30, your 50, your 70, your 90.
And what is the CX? What is it?
It's just their label.
Is that an SUV or
SUV?
Okay, those are all SUVs.
All SUVs.
Okay, that's what I was wanting to know.
Yep. 89% of Mazda U.S. sales come from extensive lineup of crossovers. The CX-30, then you have your CX-5, then your 50, your 70, and your 90. Your 90 is your new big bad boy. The 70 is right between the 50 and the 90. And Mazda, they updated all their stores, and I had a lot of people going, what is Mazda doing? Why are they building these fancy dealerships? Do they really think they're going to be a luxury brand? Do they really think well, they're doing it. Let me tell you, Mazda is on fire right now. You look at all their numbers across the board, their hybrids and their plug-in hybrids are doing extremely well. And back up years ago, you think about it for a second. When they had the rotary engine, everybody jumped all over that. And for us old school guys, there used to be the Hercules Wankel, which was a rotary engine motorcycle. And Mazda just, they had that RX-7. And then they had the RX-8, and they had that cool sports car. And then they came out with the Miata, and then the Miata started its own trend and its own nationwide Miata racing and clubs. And then they had the Mazda Tribute, and it's just continued to grow and grow. And now they've got this full line of automobiles, and a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people and tell them, hey, hang on a second here. They have one of the best transmissions ever built. And when you go back to when they were building the B2200 or the B2000, they were putting those transmissions, when you raised the hood on the Ford Ranger, it said Mazda under the hood. Why? Because of their technology. Toyota bought part of Mazda. Why? Because of their technology. You can't go wrong. And I tell people, if you haven't driven a Mazda, go spend the time. Go meet Tommy Milton out there at El Dorado Mazda right there at 380 and 75. And just tell him, hey, I want to check this out. I heard this guy, yakking away on the radio about how great your product is. Find out for yourself. And the kicker on the whole deal is the longevity of Mazda. I've got people that are still driving. I'm trying to think of what that sedan was called. I'll think of it here in a minute. And they're still driving them. 250, 275,000 miles. You have some of the old RX-7, RX-8 that people have modified or done whatever, still running. World-class product. And then it comes down to where, and that's Tommy Melton out at El Dorado Mazda ground. And, I mean, they got a full lineup. And they've got prices on some of the small SUVs and the Mazda 3 that's going to fit right into that graduation present. That's Tommy Melton at El Dorado Mazda.
Well, how about buying Mother a new car? Mother's Day is tomorrow, so hey, surprise her. Drive up in a new Mazda.
Why not?
Why not?
What mom wouldn't like it?
Yeah, no joke.
So here's the number. We're talking about the baby Utes. And the baby, you know what a baby Ute is?
No, but I remember the movie My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
When the judge goes, "What's a ute?" Yeah, I laughed so hard when I saw that.
Sir, are you making a mockery of this court? What exactly are you wearing? Great movie.
What's a ute?
And that was Herman Munster was the judge.
Yeah, I know. It was awesome.
That was great. Baby Utes are the small utility vehicles.
Okay.
And so here we go. RAV4 up 29%, Honda CR-V up, HR-V up 49%, Kona up 21%, Crosstrek up 18%, Celtis up, Forester, the Subaru Forester up 85%. The Corolla Cross, a lot of people aren't familiar with this, but Toyota took the Corolla name and put it on a car SUV-ish product, and it's really a cool looking rig. Remember, I'm a visual guy, and it's really a cool looking rig. It's up 39%. Mazda CX-30 up 29%. Sportage is up. CX-50 up 21%, and on and on and on. The numbers are absolutely incredible.
Any of those EVs?
No.
Okay.
They're all hybrids. Hybrids or ICE.
Gotcha.
Yeah, none of those are electric, and they're doing really, really well. And the thing is that the price points are very, very appealing because when you jump into electrification, you can jump up $20,000.
Right.
So they're doing very well where they are, and they're selling a bunch of them. You know what? I was really curious on the mid-size SUV market and the pricing on the smaller SUVs because it took so many people out of the market to buy those, especially the younger generation. And with the younger generation getting married later, having babies later, they really don't care about an SUV.
Right.
I mean, I talk to kids all the time, hey, if your first vehicle could be an SUV, one of them said, I'd walk. And so it's really not that big of a deal.
Pretty aggressive thinking, man,
to the younger people.
How they feel
They
about
want to see the cars.
Right.
They want to drive the cars. 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I know who that is. That's I forgot.
It starts with an F.
One more time.
An F.
It's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. Howdy. How's it going? All right. I'm Bo Carver.
Yep, I've heard you guys a little bit on the radio.
Already today? Or before?
Today.
Oh, cool. Well, we're also now on Facebook. We're live right now on Facebook. So let's check your mic out, and you can say hi to them, introduce yourself to the Facebook folk, and there you are. So introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stuart Erickson. I'm the finance director at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Plano, Texas.
And you are sharp looking, I can tell you that.
Thank you. I do.
So I
appreciate
bet all
that.
the women come here for the ask for you, right?
Well, I'm a married man.
Oh,
so,
well, that doesn't.
yeah.
That doesn't mean that they're not going to come in and ask for you, though.
Okay. I just try to take care of the customers in front of me. Everybody is special. Okay.
Okay. There you go, right there. You're good.
Yep.
Well, she's a lucky young lady.
I'm a lucky man.
Do you have any children?
We've got 2 kids.
So
we
it's
got
Mother's Day tomorrow?
Yep. We're still working on getting prepared. So if you're watching, Lucy, I will get you a good present. I promise.
That means he hasn't done it yet.
No, that's not true. There's been discussion with the rest of the house.
Okay, all right.
Man, you got the putting me on the spot today, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm warming you up before we get back on the radio.
Okay.
So we'll get the hard questions out of the way first.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate you joining us today. This dealership is fantastic, man.
That's 100 years.
I know about that. And how long you been with them?
Almost 10 years.
Let me get that a little closer to you right there. There you go.
Thank you.
Stuart Eckerson in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Erickson. The son of Eric. Swedish.
That's right.
He just told me that all the women come in and ask for him.
I did not say that. He said that. I love it.
Yep. Girlfriends and wives, stay away. We got Stuart with us.
Girlfriends and wives. How many? How many wives? I got one.
Well, just one.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about the other wives that are going to come in and ask for you.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
But you can still ask for him.
Hey, I'm going up to buy a car. Don't go near Eric. No, it's Erickson. No,
Erickson.
He goes by both. Yes, just stay away from him.
I've been called a lot, but you know.
Well, if it was Eric, then it would be untrustworthy because that'd be two, the first and last names of one first name. Remember when they say that? When you have a first name for first name and a last name, it's supposed to be untrustworthy.
Seconds.
You know, like if your name was Stuart Eric.
Yeah. 2 first
Have you
names.
heard that before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. But it's not. So you're good.
Thank
set.
you.
You're
He
trustworthy.
speaks near a lot of stuff he's never heard before.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, there you go for taking care of him right.
Good morning, sweet cousin Dorothy Noon.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Dorothy.
Well, we are lit up on a
5
live
seconds.
feed.
Yes, we are. Rocking and rolling here on the. Oh, that's
There
Garth.
you go.
I got that.
Bring it on, Bo. Sing it to
That's
me.
Garth.
Blame it on.
My roots.
Ruined black tie affair.
Everything sound all right to you?
The last one
You
to
good?
show
You everything good?
was the last
Well,
one
loud,
you
but-
thought
Which
you'd
what is it?
see there.
That?
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
that's far better. Thank you.
Okay. I figured that was
Fear
fine.
in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Oh, we just lost about 20 listeners right there.
I can sing. I can.
I thought it sounded pretty good.
Thank you. Hey, 214-787-1190 is the Automotive Ed Radio Show, bottom of the hour, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We got you hooked up. We're here at Huffines, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. Came by to say thank you. They helped me out. I was in a pickle trying to find a truck for this big truck show we had, and they jumped out there and helped us. So in return, we wanted to come out and introduce folks. I've known the Huffines family for many, many, many years, back in my days when I was running dealerships. And a lot of the family-owned and operated dealers always seem to kind of cross paths and get together at all of our dealer meetings and our 20 groups, and knew the Huffines family, and their reputation definitely precedes them. Joining me, one of their guys, Stuart Erickson, finance manager or director.
Yeah.
We got the director with us.
You got the director with you, yep.
Yeah, the old boy that sells the croak and choke, the mop and slop, and all the rest of that stuff. You ever heard that before?
Well, it does all have value to it. So it does just depend where you buy it from.
You know, when I was many, many, many moons ago, you're about probably half my age, and my owner sent me off to F&I school. And I was like, no, I'm not leaving the floor. He said, well, you really don't have a choice. You're going to F&I school. I said, all right, boss, I'll go to F&I school. So I went to F&I school and came out, and I'll never forget the meeting where Dan was my finance director, and he goes, look, this month we need 55% penetration in croak and choke. We need 60% in mop and slop. And I'm going, what are we talking about here? And you know what croak and choke is? Accident and health credit life. Mop and slop was the paint and fab protection on the car. And they had all these deals. I'm going, y'all really say this to people back here in the booth? And he says, oh, yeah, we say it in the booth. I mean, it was just terrible. And so I went back to the boss and said, look, I went back on the desk. He said, buddy, you got to do your 90-day penance. I said, does that mean if I don't, you're going to fire me? I don't want to be in finance.
Right.
And he said,
Mop
yeah,
and
you got.
slop.
But anyway, it was really cool because I took a whole different approach when I was a finance manager. When I was sitting there, and then they got mad saying I was taking too long. I wouldn't get enough clients through. But I want to know what was going on with them. It wasn't just about spending paper. Back when I was in, we actually hand wrote our contracts. It kind of give my age away, but once we had that machine, I don't know if you ever had it where it was you could hear it all the way down the hallway.
I know some people that have a dot matrix phone ringer. So yeah,
Kurt was here when y'all opened 100 years ago.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, you're like Highlander or something like that. Yeah,
I am.
Gotta take the head
I'm
off
102,
to finish it.
but
you look good.
I appreciate it. But finance is so evolved, and I know a lot of the dealers, really take time to benefit the products that, everything has a feature and everything has a benefit. And I remembered how important it was. And I'll just tell you a quick story before we start asking a few questions. We had a lawsuit against us at a dealership I was at because they had a problem with the car. And we went back, and the finance guy did not tell them about all the products. And there was a product that they left out that would have been beneficial, especially in the situation that they wound up. And it cost us a lot of money to wind up repairing and taking care of the car. But now they've really honed in on what the masses are looking for. And I think your job is so important, not only to finalize all the numbers, make sure they're agreeable, but you've got a lot of great products out there now that really benefits the consumer long term. Talk about them.
Yeah. So, like you mentioned already, every product does have a benefit to it. And, it's one of those things where there's a product for every single customer out there, whether it's short term on a lease or you get the customer likes to keep their cars for over 10 years. So, the other thing that's nice is that, coming back to the dealership to get your maintenance done, especially while you're under warranty, if anything comes up, they're going to be able to see it first. So diagnostics are run on the car. But that said, too, the product is just one of those things to ensure that the customer is going to be taken care of down the road.
No doubt about it. And one thing that I like is I'm not seeing any addendums, and that really puts the load on the F&I department, your finance and insurance, to make sure that they are fully equipped or understanding or have been told about everything that's available to them.
Yeah, so when the customer comes back to the finance department or the business office, a couple of things go on. One, we're one of the last people to touch the customer, and like the ultimate number one thing is customer satisfaction.
Right. We
get scored off of it, so if they're not happy, honestly, we don't want the deal to be done until they say they're happy.
Right.
Because our biggest marketing tool is going to be word of mouth. But that said, there's no wrong way to do it when you go back there, and that's kind of what we say. I tell the guys, hey, it's Burger King, they can have it their way.
Right.
And there's no right or wrong way to do it. So.
I have a lot of people, and I had a lady last Saturday. She was in the booth, finance office. We have a little car lingo going on here, but I told her, she said, Kurt, they're offering me these products. I said, tell the finance manager to hold on. Let's go out to your car. She goes, what do you mean? I said, you have FaceTime? She said, yeah. So let's FaceTime. She told the finance guy, she goes, I'll be right back. He's like, where are you going? She said, I'm going out to look at my trade-in. And so we go out, and I said, let's look at your tires and your rims. And I was like, you're a terrible driver. I said, do you understand that those rims and tires are about $350 a pop when you put them together? And she goes, well, I had no idea. And I was sure. It's very, very expensive to not, in your situation, looking at your wheels and tires, how much you've curbed them, run against a curb or whatever, to buy that product at a dealership. And sure enough, there was a lot of construction, and she blew out a tire and a rim, and it was $480. She took it to the dealer, and they put it on at no charge to them. So I said, take a look at your trade-in before you go back to finance and look on the interior. There was one lady, she lets her grandkids eat in her car, and the interior was all tore up. You might want to look at a paint and fabric protection for that automobile. You might want to look at a tire and wheel. And she said, I never even thought about it. Well, sure enough, not even a year later, they took care of the whole back seat where the grandkids had made a big mess on it. And it's when you look at the cost, if she didn't have it versus having the warranty on it, that makes a big difference. So there's so many different scenarios for you to help the consumer because the price of doing business got so doggone expensive.
It's gone up. I think they said from 22 to 23, the average cost of repair went up 17%. And so, yes, I mean, everything's going up. We don't have to explain that to everybody. I mean, milk and all the staple goods are more expensive. So, you know,
Make a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
We just purchased a car this week, and our dealer, our salesperson was so good, so kind to us, and got everything we wanted. Drove to Killeen to pick it up. So.
And what is your first name?
Pam.
Pam. Well, how about that? Pam walks up and we got live testimony here.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. I know people didn't really get to hear that much on radio. Can you repeat about what she said?
Yeah, we just had a customer walk up, one of many very happy customers. But thank you so much, Pam. We do appreciate your business. And
yeah, you don't hear that a lot. You always hear, you know, my 36 years, you hear so much about the claim, but to see, I mean, and she walks up smiling, talking about the dealership. That's a good thing here at.
Well, thank you for those comments. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, so a big thing, a big challenge for finance now. When I was, you know, we were at 36 months was cap on the term you could finance, and it went to 48. We're doing cartwheels. You know, go, oh my gosh, now, and as we extended that, you know, the doors kept opening. Oh my gosh, then they went 60 months, went hallelujah, and you know, sales were off the chain. And then I saw 72 months. I went, what
wow, 72, right? Yeah.
And then I've got a lot of buddies that are GMs all over the DFW area. They are not allowed to do an 84-month financing unless they see the car deal and want to know why. But when you look at the average of cars, the average new car sold last month was $46,870. Pre-owned was $27,200 on a pre-owned. That is really, and as a director and to have your subordinates, you've really got to kumbaya to make sure that you're really heartily looking at every car deal to know what's right for them. At 84, and they said it's not going to be long. 96 is coming.
96 is here. You know, we've not done a 96-month loan, but it's available. You know, I mean, it is kind of funny you bring that up. So I've been in the car business for about 10 years, and you know, it just seemed like 72 was always the term to go to, and then 84 was pushing it a little bit further, and yes, 96 is out there. And
as a finance director, are you coaching your finance managers on really having that conversation? Because maybe instead of going long term based on their trade cycle, let's take a look at a lease. I mean, are you having these conversations in the booth, giving them more options than just because the salesman and the sales manager said, here's your payment on 60 months, this is the way to go? There's still another conversation to be had.
Yeah, no, there's always conversation. I mean, and again, we do actively look at what's the best route for the customer, because it's not just about the one car deal; it's about repeat business.
How come everybody here keeps saying that? What's up with you guys?
Well, because you don't. What do they say? They say you don't skin the sheep. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
You can harvest the wool many seasons over.
Right.
But you
don't barbecue the sheep, right?
I do like barbecue.
Yeah, but you don't want to do the customer that way.
We're going lamb now.
Yeah,
I hear you. Can you hang out another segment?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Hey, we got to take a quick break, pay some bills. Don't go away. 214-787-1190. Joining us, Stuart Erickson, Finance Director here at Hufflines Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, Plano Parkway. We're going to be here till noon. Bo will actually wash your car for you or take you on a demo drive if the boss will allow it. So hurry out.
It's called mop and slop.
We'll be right back.
We're still going on this. I love it.
You know, I was asked the other day, I was at a meeting, there was all these car people there, and a guy goes,
We got to wrap it up.
We just did.
You're in trouble. You're in
I didn't even hear you.
Yeah. Go to break, Maddie.
Oh, Maddie, that's a beautiful name. That's my
A guy says, hey, Kurt, you know, we're all telling car stories. The funniest thing is when you get about a dozen car guys together and a guy goes, I'll put up the money if you write a book. I said, I can't. He goes, why? I said, I have to go into hiding. We did some stuff in the day that, wow. But it was mandated from our superiors.
Yeah.
Things that we did. You know what Playhouse 90 is?
No.
That's a series on Netflix.
He is a young one. Okay, so here's Playhouse 90. I had a buddy, Sam Burrell. And he was this big old ex-oil man, just big guy, always outside with a cigar, never lit him. And he goes, okay, boys, from now on, never been in the car business, but he was really good with numbers. He goes, we're going to do a little Playhouse 90. Kurt, you're up. They actually had microphones in the offices so the desk could hear what was going on, which was illegal as heck, right? So Sam's in there working this deal, and it's a huge amount of gross, and Sam walks in, he goes, Kurt, did you not tell these customers what I said? And I said, Sam, I did. He goes, I don't believe you did. You're fired. So I'd go sit in the cafeteria or the lunchroom. And so these, hey, you don't need to fire Kurt. He's a great guy. Well, we want these cars. Well, look, if we buy the car, would you bring Kurt back? Okay. And then he'd come in and, hey, Kurt, we're so sorry that happened.
All
Playhouse 90. I'm telling you, we did some things that I'm not proud of, but it is good to see that so much of this stuff is in the past. And
y'all are trying to overcome that past.
No, I mean,
it's been a stigma that's been carried on forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I only have experience at 2 different dealerships. I'm not going to go into the first one or whatnot too much, but there's definitely different ways that you can sell a car. And it's one of those things where, sometimes a price can be advertised lower than what a place is willing to, but it's one of those things where just taking care of the customer, but full transparency. I mean, like that's all that we can do.
Well, that's been the word throughout. Each person that's been with us from Huff-Ons here, that they're transparency. You want to have the customer back again.
They all have the same mantra.
The mantra's the same. Y'all have that same.
Well, the big out for the dealers that we always had in our advertising. And there was one little line on every bit of advertising by law that protected us. Sadly enough, I went to court probably 24 times for lemon laws and complaints, whatever. There was one line that we put on every ad. You know what it said? Does not include any additional dealer installed options. So we would put prices in there that would bring people in, and they were going, man, no one in town will touch it. Well, we know. But then the finance guys, boy, did they catch it. I mean, my finance guys had to be the strongest people in the showroom floor because they had to deal with, well, hang on a second. Well, no, did they tell you that it had this, and this on it? No, it didn't. Well, all our cars are equipped this way. And finally, the day that I got to take over a dealership and it was my baby to run, I stopped every bit of it.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I stopped every bit of it. And you know why? I had a lady walk into my office and she said, are you the general manager? I said, I am. She said, do you remember me? I went, being a car guy. Sure. Hey, how you doing? She goes, don't get too happy. She said, that deal that you gave my husband and I caused me to get out of retirement. I had to go back to work 6 more years because of what you did to us, and walked away. And so I go back to service and I called Tracy. I said, who was that? I looked it up. I made a $27,800 gross on that couple. And it was a custom van, but regardless. And I went, holy cow. I mean, and it hit me so hard. I still get goosebumps. I've never been convicted like that. I brought all my salespeople and I said, here's how we're going to start working car deals. Yeah. They said, are you okay? Yeah. Here's how we're going to start working car deals. And I always told them, if a salesperson is educated, then they become infallible in their process. When you're not educated and trained, you're not infallible, and then we have all the problems and hiccups that we have in the dealership. So nobody was allowed to sell my car unless they were infallible in their product. That way they didn't have to lie about anything. They could stand and say, hey, we're family owned and operated. This is what we're all about. Now let me show you the product. Yeah, and without saying it, they couldn't sell the car.
Yeah, you got somebody to speak to, you know, if there's an issue. So, yeah,
the markups are not even close to that nowadays, let alone what you paid.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Stuart Eckerson, Finance Director here. You can always tell the bosses around the store. I'm going to tell you, there's some well-dressed dudes around here.
Is director like you have the biggest crown in there? Like that's
the crown? I have a crown. I have a big head.
Got the gavel.
Is that the stud position?
So let me ask you, what are your biggest objections in finance for the consumers that are out there now? Because, you know, when it comes down to signing the paperwork, when I say, well, let's go into the finance office, the blood pressure goes up a little bit. What are the biggest objections, or what are the consumers asking you most of, or that you're hearing when you're putting your car deal together, when you're contracting them?
I mean, there's objections on pricing of products and whatnot. I mean, that comes up, just trying to fit into a budget, and that's understandable. Again, we talked about cost and everything going up. And so that's probably the biggest objection that we run into is just, hey, I need to be here at this particular payment.
Right.
So that's probably the biggest one.
I tell people I get it. The number one question I get asked is, Kurt, are extended warranties worth it? 100% based on how long you're going to keep the car, because the cost of replacing the brain on this car or the infotainment system on this car, the electronics, and the cost of labor. My wife has been with Daimler for 30 years, or now Stellantis, and she's on the warranty side of things. So we see the cost of all the different products, and it would behoove you, because let's just say you trade within 3 years, they can actually get money. If they bought a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, they trade early, they can actually get money back on the deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's prorated contracts. If they're going to trade in 3 years, we've got some shorter term plans that would make a little bit more sense, that do actually offer some tangible benefits, like doing some maintenance with the service contract included, kind of shorter term lease options, shorter term ownership options. But I mean, there really is a product for every customer in the back. And
do you offer? You have service agreements just for service, and do you offer a product in there for them to do maintenance for so long on their cars?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got maintenance products. We've got total loss protection, wheel and tire, and then we have Smart Shield and Ding Shield, which is what were you calling that earlier? You're calling that the mop and slop.
The mop and slop.
Yeah, which we had a customer. We've actually had 2 claims in the past week. One customer had a lighter interior, and his blue jeans faded into the seat.
Oh, wow.
And so he had blue all over his light interior.
So it looked like he sat, like he had his legs and butt in the seat.
Kind of more on the bolster side of it, but yeah, so it took care of that. And then, rips, tears, and burns. So.
Well, it's a great product as far as your maintenance. The difference between extended warranties and maintenance is the fact that the cost of products and the cost of labor continue to go up.
Yeah.
And to lock that in now is really a good decision to make.
I think it's a great decision. And I mean, we have every different walk of life that comes into the dealership. So some it's more, hey, the monthly payment is a big deal. And other people, it's going to be, hey, my out the door, my cash price, the business owner, the executive or whatnot. But the thing is that, when we're offering a service contract that's going to extend 4, 5, 6, maybe up to 7 years, and let's say that service contract costs less than 5% of the cost of the car, it really starts to kind of make sense. Because there's good insurance in this world and there's bad insurance, but one thing that we again pride ourselves on is repeat business. And so again, we're not going to skin the sheep whenever we're doing a deal back there. We have certain parameters we have to stay.
And I know that you've had plenty of consumers over the many years of Huffines Group been in business come in and go, hey, thanks for showing me that product. Guess what happened?
Oh yeah.
I mean, the stories that come behind it, they're always people, hey, I wasted money, but you never know when, and that when factor, what is it worth when you look at the labor cost and part cost back in the dealership? Because I looked at, I had this box with some really old ROs in it, and I'm looking at it going, wow, I can't believe we did all this at this price. Now it's 5 times as much.
Oh, one of the finance managers used to work on the service drive. He's a service advisor, which he does say is the hardest job at the dealership, is a service advisor, which I believe wholeheartedly, because you never have a customer that walks in that's necessarily very happy if their car's broken.
Kind of like when you go in the doctor, how you doing today? Well, not real well, because I'm here.
My gut hurts, and I know what my deductible
I feel great. I just thought I'd come by.
or I've met my deductible, and I need you to do this surgery.
I just here to say hi.
That's right.
But it's it's one of those things where well, here's the other thing too, is that I wasn't necessarily a big believer in service contracts when I got asked to go back into finance, and I had a very good mentor boss. His name's Israel Barrera, and he said, look, he goes, go out to the service department and go walk into all the different stalls and see what cars are in there. And you'd see some brand new cars in there. Okay. And so nothing is immune to having an issue. And
that's
so
right. Well, what a lot of people don't realize is Stellantis assembles the car. They don't make the car.
Yep.
You have
1 minute
on some cars 105 vendors putting parts on the car.
That's incredible.
105, and so you think about that, and so you're responsible as a dealer for all the vendors that have come together to put that car together. And what is it worth? Is it worth a rolling a dice not getting one? And that's what I ask
30
people.
seconds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go to break, Stuart. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Great
That's
job.
awesome.
Derek Erickson.
Good to see you,
And here's the thing. He'll come out and talk to you. If you're talking about finance car, you want to know the numbers, you have no problem pre-talking to them before they buy the car.
Exactly. Know what you're getting into, and then also know that what you're buying is going to take care of you. I mean, we're never going away. It's not what you buy. It's where you buy it from.
That's right. 214-787-1190. Quick break, pay some bills. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
All right. Appreciate y'all being a part of our broadcast today here on the Automotive Edge radio show. We're having a great day this morning here at Huffines Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and here in Plano, Texas at 4500 West Plano Parkway. And we're having a great morning, great day. Hey, good job, man. Nice meeting you. We are rocking and rolling this morning, and appreciate y'all tuned in. Like and share the broadcast if you don't mind, and try to go into our YouTube area, youtube.com, and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and then subscribe. Hit subscribe. And that way we can be get that out there a little more. We just started that. Just started the YouTube just a few weeks ago, and we'd like to get some more boost on that. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing there, go and again, it's youtube.com, and it's you have to search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. So appreciate that. There's your headset right here. What, like it is right there? We can do that. Let's go here. Wrong thing. Create a banner. So, you want to just type it in there? Type in what you want to type. Just type. Just start typing. Is that your website, or what do you got? You want to put the website in there? Just back it up. You got your website name? You got it? You got to look it up?
Good morning, Jason Allison, Wesley Stewart, and the wonderful
so then we can
Carol
do it this
Coomer.
way. We do it that way.
Are you in the country, Carol, or are you just somewhere in the world and tuned in?
See, how about that?
Good morning, Michael Otto.
It's
Thanks for joining
Dash,
us.
is that right? Cool. Good to see you. Long time no see. Everything all right? I'm going to be right back. Let's get you dialed in a little better here.
Yeah, put that mic right up to you.
Yeah, she
Just
went up.
bend it this way.
She wasn't up very hot.
Give me a check 1, 2.
1, 2.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right. We're good. I'll be right back.
Bye, Bo.
We're on Facebook, so keep talking.
Bye, Bo.
Bye. Drop mic.
Hey, if you have your wives, your husband, your kiddos, get them up to the radio or get them dialed in on Facebook. You got the Automotive Edge. You got YouTube, the Automotive Edge on YouTube. You have Shifting Gears. You have Kurt Chase Facebook page. You have Bo Carver Facebook page. The Automotive Edge Facebook page, a bunch of ways. We have Jacqueline Shapiro with us, and you want to stay tuned because we got a lot of great questions coming up about credit. What's going on with credit and the crazy world? And there's another person out there advertising how he can take care of your credit. And it is all, well, we're just going to separate fact from fiction. How about that coming up? So if your kids are going to get started in credit, you're going to start them in credit, you're going to do whatever, you want to stay tuned and get everybody's ear involved and take notes on the next few conversations we're fixing to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And feel free to ask any questions you have that are credit related. I am here to be of service.
That's right. So you can type in your questions on the Facebook page, or you can call us at 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190, and hang out with us. And then, hey, free hot dogs and hamburgers coming up May 11th, 10 to 2. That would be today out here at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. And so you want to come out. It's the meet and greet. 100 years in business. 100 years in business. That's unbelievable. It used to be called Huffines Motor Company, and grown into what it is now. And I've met Mr. Huffines on several occasions. I know he doesn't remember me. And then I met his son, Sam, the other day, and I didn't know that he was old enough to even be in here as a general manager. But anyway, come and join us. Here you go. Do this.
Perfect.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, no. There we go.
I guess I'm going to buy about 10 more of those, because every time I buy one for Kurt, he loses it. So I have these little stands, and I've bought him about 4 already, and he don't know where none of them are.
I don't know where they're at. Oh, well.
But are you dialed into our show?
Yep.
30 seconds.
All right. There you go. 30 seconds.
Oh, I think it keeps moving. There you go. Jason Allison in the house.
Southwest Nissan in the home.
Today, 10 to 2, come on out. Hot dogs, hamburgers, and a car show, and all these crazy-looking Jeeps are pulling up. They're going to have some rock climbers, monster Jeeps. They're going to have it all out here celebrating 100 years in business at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by the folks over at Burleson Nissan. Our buddy Justin Crane got it going on. Now, a lot of people are asking me about the new Armada. Until Infiniti releases their new 80 series, you won't be seeing the new Armada, but he's got huge discounts. You can beat the bank with his APRs, from the Frontier to the Titan to the Armada. Nissan Sentra, what a great college graduation program you can get for the kiddos. You're price conscious when you're looking at that car around 20 grand brand new. The place, Burleson Nissan. See my buddy Justin Crane. If you say you were listening to the radio show, 3 free years of maintenance. The place, 35 in Renfro Road in Burleson. Justin Crane, BurlesonNissan.com. Hey, coming up today, 10 to 2, Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram meet and greet, free food and refreshments. Stop out here. They've got all the Jeep people coming and showing off their Jeeps, hot dogs, hamburgers, cold drinks. Stop out and celebrating 100 years in business, and then see this beautiful 69 Corvette sitting on the showroom floor, and just meet some great people.
And bring your ducks.
Bring your ducks?
You know that's what's going on, right? All Jeep people, they're collecting little ducks.
That's right. They do the duck thing.
Yeah, they do the duck thing. So if you bring your ducks and slam these Jeeps with them.
There you go. Bring your ducks. Joining us, my dear friend of many year, Jacqueline Shapiro. Good morning.
Good morning.
God, it must be nice just to look good. Look at us two, and then you look at you.
Yes.
You sure making the show look good today.
Pretty sad.
Thanks. Yeah, got a couple of gray-haired cronies there, and then Jackie shows up.
Yeah,
You got to suck your gut in and sit up
We
straight.
look homeless.
I met Jackie many, many, many years ago. She was a fierce competitor in a competition, but she got her doors blown off. She fell by about 800 points behind me, and she never recouped from it. But
I love how you tell this story.
It gets better each time.
Yes,
too.
it's like the fishing
It was
story.
a couple of points. Now it's 800 points. I just keep spreading it
It
out.
was one.
We call that evangelistically speaking. You heard that?
Yeah,
before.
no, horseshoes, right?
So let's give out your contact information before we get started.
So contact information, which will be on the Facebook Live as well. You can reach out to us on the website at Shapiro-Hurst.com. That's Shapiro-Hurst.
And that's SHAPIRO-HURST.com.
That's right. So let's talk. There is so many myths about credit, and you and I both had the unique privilege of meeting Ben Dover. And his name was Benjamin Dover, but he changed his name to Bendover because how bad he got messed over on a car accident.
Oh, wow.
And he started this little thing going around telling everybody, get a red Sharpie and pull your bureau, circle it, and if you send it in 3 times and they don't respond, they have to take. I mean, there's so many wives' tales out there. And then a lot of people saying, you know, Kurt, we just spent $5,000. We spent $8,000. We spent $9,000, and they're going to rebuild our credit, and they're going to do all this. I just really want to, and there's a lot of people that are in bad credit situation because of COVID, and they just don't know what to do. First thing I want to ask you, can you call Equifax TransUnion and Experian and go, hey, take that stuff off. It's not right.
Oh, well, you can call them all day long. But the bureaus are only what are called a repository for information. In other words, they control the information that they receive. But unless you can prove it or you get that creditor or collection company to say, yes, take it off, you can call them all day long, but that's really not going to do you any good.
Okay. For the people that, the big thing is still, and it's crazy to me, these people that are doing this identity theft, they could probably cure every disease in the world because they're that smart, but instead they're doing it the illegal way. What do people do? In fact, I went down to get one of those towers that you see sitting on the table. And the lady goes, can I have your last 4 of your social? And so she pulled it up and she said, well, Mr. Chase, you already have an active account.
What?
I said, no, ma'am, I don't. I've never used this company before. She said, oh, yes, you do. And before we can give you the router, we need you to pay your behind payments of $387. And I went, ma'am, I'm going to help you one more time. I do not have an account here. So I gave her the social. She had my ID. And she goes, your real name's Ronald Chase, right?
Bend over, Chase.
And I said, no, my name is not Ronald Chase. And they said, well, yeah, we have you down, and the only way to get the router is to pay your $387 bill. And I said, my name is not Ronald Chase. Now, here's the sad part. You have my ID. Here's my social. Here's my date of birth, and you're still calling me Ronald. I'm really, I may look like Ronald McDonald, but we're not, no relation, but that's really not me. And so she said, well, then we have to go through our counterfeit law, blah, blah, blah department in order to get it taken care of. They had the audacity, when I went back to get the router, to say, here's the deal. Pay the bill, we'll give you the router, and then we'll work it off the bill when we find out who this Ronald guy is.
Oh, no.
I went, time out, boys and girls. I'm not Ronald Chase. He stole my identity. But here's the thing. I've got an identity, what I thought, protection on both my bank accounts and with Equifax and Experian, and nobody caught it.
So there's a huge difference, and let's dispel some myths, because a lot of people get identity theft and fraud, and it is a huge problem. It's getting even bigger every day. These guys are so sophisticated in what they're doing.
Well, they just tapped into AT&T.
And good morning, Corey Bird. Good to have you with us.
So number one, first and foremost, if this does happen to you, and why didn't you call me, Kurt?
I
would have read him the right act.
I was so mad. I called Bo. Bo goes, did you get the router? Because he takes this from home, so his wife has no router. She can't watch TV or anything. And Barbara Ann can beat up both of us. So I literally went back, and he goes, here's the deal. We'll do half the bill. I said, look, I don't care if you go to $10. I'm not paying a dime. That's not me.
What was crazy is they were defending the criminal more than helping him, which
they just
is
wanted
insane.
their money.
So if you find yourself in this situation, I need you to do 3 things. First and foremost, you're going to go online or contact us. We'll give you the documents to do it. And if you need help with this, I mean, we've got a master class. It's only $87. It's stupid, but it'll walk you through every single step on how to protect yourself and what to do. So you would need to file an FTC identity theft report, print it out so you can give it to them. You need a police report and your IDs. You contact their corporate offices, and if you need to, you can Google executive staff at whatever company it is, so you can identify that top person. Call the president's office, ask for their executive assistant, and say, hey, I've got a problem. This needs to be handled right now. And once you start processing the paperwork, then it becomes really quick.
Yeah, they said they are in the middle. I'm like, okay, so what's the middle? Well, that's all the email says. So I want to answer right away, because on Monday, I'm going to take this thing to a different level. However you want to handle it. Monday, I want this done. And she said, well, and this is, the store manager. And she goes, we could clear this up quickly. I said, let's do it quickly. She goes, well, why don't you just pay the $385? And she said it again, and then we'll credit you on your bill once we get this resolved. That way we can get you hooked up. I mean, you have got to be kidding me.
Why don't you just give me Ronnie's phone number and I'll give him a call myself? Here, let me take care of that real quick.
Yeah, so I Googled it, and there was 3 of them, and one of them here locally, and I went, wow, this is just unbelievable. And the sad part is the money that I spent, and I called every one of the companies I do business with going, hang on a minute. This guy used my social. It didn't pop up that there was a credit check on my social. How are you protecting me?
So one of the things that I recommend is, let's back up. Everybody's been compromised. You, me, everybody's information has been compromised. There's no way around it. The number of data breaches is astronomical. But what you can do is freeze your credit reports. Don't bother with a fraud alert. A fraud alert will not help you, but a credit freeze will eliminate about 95%. You can also go to the Utility Commission.
Now, talk about the credit freeze, and I know what that is, but kind of explain
what does it do? Yeah, like how does that work and what does it do?
So for fraud, you've got a fraud alert, which means that they should have a fraud alert on your credit report. And if anybody pulls your credit and it says fraud alert, they should call you to make sure you are you. However, it just doesn't work well.
Always.
It just doesn't work well.
They want to do business and get it down the road and not pretend they didn't see it.
Right. So if you do a credit freeze, what it actually does is it locks your credit reports down where no one can access them at all unless you physically unlock that report. So that can eliminate
and that's been going on for a long time, because I remember still when you and I worked for the same company, that's when fraud alerts started popping up, where you actually there was a number to call, and then it would hand the phone to them and question, blah blah blah, ask questions, everything. Unfreeze it. We did the car deal, then they refroze the account.
So where do you do that to freeze it?
You can do it a number of different ways. You can call the bureaus and freeze it. You can go online, create a free account with the bureaus and freeze it. There are some of the credit monitoring services out there that have the ability to lock and unlock the reports.
Okay.
So, there are a multitude of ways to freeze them up, but it can prevent a lot of this Ronnie Chase stuff from happening.
Ronnie Chase. Hey, that's his cousin, and he just won't admit to it.
Actually, I started, I know I've got about 50 relatives in New York. I've got 16 in Colorado and 12 in California. No Ronnies. Yeah, so...
That's funny.
Let's take a quick break. If you got some questions for Jackie, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Or you can post them on the Facebook page or the YouTube page. Bo will read them out. Or you just call in the studio, 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
That's a good song.
Our producer's on target.
Yeah, she's got that old rock and roll soul.
He's got that. She's on solid.
She's so sick of my disco.
Most everybody else was too.
Come on. She's so sick of it.
It's not that we hate disco. It's just...
Well, I'll tell you what, that is a gorgeous Corvette.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's a shaker, too.
All right.
Absolutely
I drive that car.
beautiful.
Is that a 4-speed, probably?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
Probably
beautiful.
250-ish horsepower.
No way. way.
Oh yeah, back
In that
then
little bitty car.
they had no horsepower back then.
So Charles Davis says the identity theft is a pain in the butt. Someone used my health insurance at an emergency room in Dallas, and I'm having so much trouble with my health insurance not to pay for something that didn't happen to me. I'm lost. I have talked to so many people and can't get anything done.
Okay, so there are some forms, Charles, specific to medical fraud. If you would please email me directly,
Let me write this down here. Let me get this here. Let's get your email in here. You want me to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because those
What is it?
It's Jackie, Jackie, at Shapiro, SHA.
SHA.
PIRO.
Is that right? SHAPIRO?
Hyphen Hurst.
I gotta have that in there.
HURST.com.
Okay.
So if you'll email me, I am more than happy to get you some of those documents. And then again, the other thing that I would tell you, depending on who your providers are and who your doctor's offices are that are involved in all of this, always Google the executive staff or the managing members or the board members, the people that are in control, that when they get that type of email or that type of communication, they're going to go, hey, what are you guys doing? Somebody needs to get on top of this. I don't like getting these kind of messages.
Yeah, because the problem with a lot of these companies, they don't care. They just want the money and let you deal with whatever later. And that's just not the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just think about it. They turned down my business because I wouldn't pay somebody's debt that was using my social. I'm going, I couldn't even wrap my brain around the conversation. I'm looking at this girl going, do you see stupid written across my forehead? I said, don't answer that question, but I just don't get it, because you know what? Then they turn you collections and they don't care about anything but the money. They don't care about that you've been frauded. They don't care that they want to put you in a financial crisis. They don't care. And that's where people like Jackie, you need to have her on your side. Because I'm telling you, I went in her office and I didn't know that I could love Jackie more than when I sat in front of her and she got on the phone with that credit people. And I'm telling you what, the next day it was off. And I went, who's the girl now? I mean, it was so impressive. I was always impressed working with Jackie because she was the top person month in, month out. But then to see where she's moved her life into this arena, and it's not just credit. There's so much more that she knows. But here's the thing. Sign up for her class and learn, moms and dad, what a great gift to give your kiddos to understand the world of credit. Because a lot of these kids, my boys, I said, do not put a forwarding address anywhere, or your mail needs to come home, period. And they said, why? And the first time they came home, I had a box full of free credit cards. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of envelopes of no payments for 1 year, jump on board, no fees. And boy, these kids are going, hang on, man, I could use new TV in the dorm. Or next thing you know, they come home with all this debt, all this bad credit, or they're sharing it with their roommates.
20 seconds.
I was shocked how many people have contacted me going, yeah, my son, the kids needed some. Said they pay them later, and it's on their bureau and it's not been paid, or they got hold of their Social Security number and the kids aren't paying attention to it, and their buddies are out running up bills on them, and you're going to pay the piper on the whole deal.
Charlie said he's going to email you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm happy to help you, Charlie.
And it says, Brandy, good morning. It says, who is your guest? Oh, you answered that, Jacqueline Shapiro.
I'm on top of things, Kurt. Just call me Ronnie.
Boy, I cannot believe how cool of music Maddie's. How old are you, Maddie? 21, 22 maybe? And she had pulling up some good.
23.
Wow, okay.
Well, she was raised right, so it makes a big difference.
Well, I just went to school for art. So
well, there you go. That
I
makes a
did a
big
lot of
difference,
music.
too.
Can you paint a picture for me?
Yeah, I can draw with pencil, charcoal, painting with acrylic, crayon, oil pastels.
All right, you're hired.
Hey, can you draw Kurt now? Like one of those.
I can draw like a little cartoon guy. Yeah.
You can do that? Look at that.
Yeah,
She
the
says she
big
can
head.
do it.
Just make sure
She
you
can
put
draw
You just solved our problem.
We've been looking for that for about 100 years.
To do the caricature?
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
There we go. We just have two old farts and then Jackie in the middle.
Just do stick figures with a big head on each other's.
Hey, Maddie, I've got one for you. Do the character of Kurt on one side and Kurt Chase on one side, Ronnie Chase on the other. With box and gloves.
There we go. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Classic Kia Carrollton. My buddy Jesse Hull, family owned and operated, and it makes a difference. And Jesse and his staff, and I know most of the staff there, his son's the new CFO in the company. These are good people. They're just down to earth. They're not into the back and forth. And how long can we keep you here? They're meat and potatoes. Do you like the vehicle? We're going to make it affordable, and you're going to be the owner of a new Kia. Just like that. Right there at 121 and 35. As for Jesse Hull, managing partner, general manager, who I've known for many, many years, and class act all the way. And let me tell you, their lineup of vehicles are the new Storm and Norman of the auto industry. The place, ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. That's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. Joining us, my dear friend Jacqueline Shapiro, some guy next to her, Maddie back in studio, and we're here today live. Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, their 100-year anniversary, and they got dogs and burgers and a Jeep show coming up here from 10 to 2. In fact, the Jeep's already rolling up. They're going to fire up the grill. Stop by, grab a hamburger and a dog, check out some product, and meet good people here at Huffines' 100-year anniversary celebration. So, Jackie, I'm getting a lot of people wanting to know how in the world do they get other people off their bureaus. And I could not believe how many of the people sent in a question when I sent out on the newsletter that you would be joining us is, how do they separate people and get people off their bureaus?
You're talking about companies that's maybe put a bad something on there?
They're no longer married, but they still have their ex's credit on there, or they co-signed, and those notes are still showing up. Is that a possibility or a way, or are they just stuck until the notes are paid?
So when you're married and you do a joint account, and just to clarify for everybody listening, you can open an account one of two ways, either by yourself, which is considered an individual account, or if you do it with a spouse, mother, father, brother, sister, whoever it is, it becomes a joint account. That means you are jointly liable. So if you co-sign, you better be prepared to pay whatever you're co-signing for. Now, in the situation you just brought up, right now, they're few and far between, but you can occasionally get a creditor to assign your liability to the other person, but it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, just because the judge signs off, the lender doesn't have to play.
Oh, heck no. The divorce decree has absolutely nothing to do with your financial liability for the account that you co-signed for or jointly co-signed for.
You got to say that again. I mean, that's a home run.
Okay, when you get divorced, your divorce decree says you're responsible for this, they're responsible for that. But when it comes to your creditors and your credit report and your financial liability in the reports, that decree means nothing.
Well, they go back to the original signing of what you did. And even though a lot of times when they do that in the courts, they're assigning certain things. But the creditors say, dude, you signed this and promise that. So like you said, the court, they don't care.
Well, the only way to legally, the fastest way to do it is to refinance it and get off the note.
Right.
If you're able to do that. There's a lot of people that co-sign and they want the spouse off, and maybe the spouse doesn't have a job. They're not going to re-sign it in the spouse's name because he has no income. They want that note guaranteed and paid. And so people say, well, how do I co-sign for my kiddo, I want off the note. Well, then take your kiddo down to a bank or the dealer and get it refinanced if that's applicable. If not, correct, you're responsible for that note. And the judge said, well, the only thing you got is you better be paying it because it's going to mess up your credit and then get them back in front of the judge. But you're not going to get them in front of Experian or Equifax and go, wait a minute, the judge said. They don't care.
Yeah, so in the divorce situation, the judge could penalize the other person for not meeting the decree, but when it comes to those creditors, look, I'm not an attorney. I'm qualified as an expert witness when it comes to credit reporting, and credit scores, but I'm not an attorney, so it's not to constitute legal advice. But That said, when you have that contract, you go in jointly, you sign for that car. He signs for it, she signs for it. You are both contractually liable to that company, and it has nothing to do with any divorce decree that you have, period.
Yep. I always tell people refinance. Find the easiest way out, and that's to refinance and get it out of your name.
I have a question. How come it seems to be that, and I don't know if other people have had this problem, but it seems to be where if you get a downtick on your credit bureau, that it's a lot easier to get that than an uptick. So why is that?
Well, generally it has to do with what we would call utilization rates. It's really about credit cards. That's usually the number one culprit. So if your credit card balance goes above 50%, specifically above 50%, you're taking a big hit.
Right.
But you can actually physically control that. So all you have to do is make your payment on those credit cards 4 days prior to the due date.
Oh, okay.
And then it has time to cycle through their accounting system, and it puts you physically in control of what balance the credit card companies report.
There you go.
Now, let's, truth or fiction, jumping your credit cards will boost your credit score. And what they meant by that was, you got a credit card, you got a balance of $6,000. You got another company comes out and says, hey, we'll do 0 APR for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And they think by continuing to jump their credit cards that they're really boosting.
You're talking about getting that credit card to pay off that other one?
That's correct.
So financially, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Right, because you're taking, the credit card interest rates have jumped about 30% as a whole. So if you're talking about just from a financial standpoint, that can make a lot of sense because then you can just knock out principal. But when it comes to a credit score, that's not necessarily helpful.
Yeah, it might hit you a little bit, huh?
Well,
because it's a new card.
Right. So
and do they penalize you for getting rid of the other card?
Well, you're opening up another line.
Right. But if you're getting rid of the other one.
But if your debt to ratio doesn't change, it's not going to affect your score.
Well, it can in the age category. So think of it this way. Let's say that Bo has a credit card that's 10 years old today.
Okay.
It's his only credit card, but he opens a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
He's just cut the average age of those credit cards or revolving accounts in half to 5 years. So it can affect the average age. It's a smaller, we're kind of going into rabbit hole if we talk about that deep into credit scoring. But ultimately, if that 0% transfer card can help you financially get back on your feet because delinquencies and default rates are at an all-time high and they're continuing to rise. So if that can help you, I would say absolutely go for it. You can recoup the score points later, even if it means closing the transfer card that you used.
214-787-1190. You got a question? The reason I wanted to have Jackie here is, credit is paramount right now because when you graduate high school, you leave school, you get married. There was a couple guys my daughter was dating, and I ran their credit, and I told her this is no.
1 minute.
Bad credit. Bad. No, this is a no. If he comes to me, he will not have my blessing. Period. Is credit is paramount, more so now than ever before, because rates are extremely high. Loans are actually more difficult to get. And we want to have the best in the business talking about it. 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Follow us on YouTube, the Automotive Edge Facebook page, Big Wheel Bo Carver, Kurt Chase. Join in, call in, and give us a question. 214-787-1190. Quick break. We'll be right back.
So Charles is wanting to know if he could have a phone number to call you, your office or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, what would that be?
Direct line is 469 619
hold on. 619
0717.
469-619-0717.
Correct. Hey, Charles, I won't be in the office this afternoon. If you want to talk on the phone, we can schedule something for Monday. No problem. Happy to help.
There it is.
Charlie and I have been friends since elementary.
No way.
Big Charlie was a offensive lineman and protected Kurt
Still is.
Still is. And now he's my seafood buddy. He drives for one of the largest seafood companies.
Oh,
so
nice.
it wasn't too long ago he met me, and he has what they call broken boxes, and I got salmon and scallops and shrimp.
You went on a sushi seafood delight.
The truth of the story, he went and busted the box. Using that.
Yeah, it was funny. I met Charlie. Every year they go to. I didn't realize they have these houses on Lake Grapevine to rent. I had no idea. Big place. And all of a sudden, Jimmy comes up, and I went, that was Charlie's brother, and grew up with my brother. And I went, I had no idea. I'm like, what a small world. And Charlie's one of those good people. Him and a guy named Mark Blackburn were like the inseparable hellraisers of the town, but in a good way. They weren't, into the bad stuff. They just had a lot of fun.
They all had to move out of Irving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your band.
Well, Charlie's lucky. He never has that question. Oh, you're one of them Chase boys.
Exactly.
No. Just I spell my name differently. But Charlie's one of those great guys that we grew up with, and then has that lovely wife Tammy out there in Lubbock. And I told him we were going to load everything up and go sit on the back porch and do a show with Charlie.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Very nice. I heard you talking about old Sam earlier. Man, he was a character. He was a
The
character.
things that Sam did,
Oh, good Lord.
I could talk about forever. I remember I was in the finance, and Sam goes, "Hey, I need you to go into finance to close this deal." Okay, great. And Donnie Gildert, who was finance, just couldn't close these people down. So I went. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" They said, "We want to pray about this." And I'm like, "Okay, I have no problem praying." So we all joined hands. Sam gets over the PA system and goes, "This is God. Sign the papers." And I went,
Mr. Chase,
"Yes."
we have Kurt online. Not Kurt. What's his name? Ralph.
Ronnie? You have Ronnie on the line?
And so here I am praying
We
with
have
these
Ralph
folks,
on hold, yes.
and it just jolted me. And she goes, "I think we'll be leaving now." And I'm out there, and everybody is dying laughing. And Bruce, I don't know if you remember Bruce Robinson.
Yeah.
Well, him and Sam, they're down on the ground, and I walked over. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Did you close the deal?" I went, "What are you thinking?" He goes, "You're so weak." And I'm like, "Look, God, don't do that ever again." And then Sam goes, I'll never forget, he goes, "I'll give you $500 if you can close this
1
car
minute.
deal." I'm in. He said, they're outside in the car, and it's pouring down rain. And the salesman had been working with him. He came in, and he had this panic look on his face. So I said, $500. And Sam laid out the 500. He goes, "Right there, it's yours." I'm like, "I'll close this deal." So I go out there, I'm talking to this guy, I got an umbrella, and it's just, I remember we're at Prestige Ford. Jay's there working with us. I look up, and all the salespeople are lined up in the glass, and they're just watching. I'm talking to this guy, and he goes, "Well, I'm not sure. My partner really doesn't like the car, and we've driven everything, and Ralphie just doesn't like it." And I said, "Well, let me talk to Ralphie." And so about that time I leaned down, and it was a dressed up mannequin. And I jumped back, and I stumbled, and I fell, and everybody's laughing. And the guy
10
really
seconds.
believed this was a real person.
Oh, wow.
So I looked up, Sam was waving that $500. I'm like,
That's
"I
hysterical.
hate you." And now I'm soaking wet. I'm sitting there dealing with some wackadoodle-doo,
That's good.
Oh, he was the best.
We would like to take this time
Actually, I
to
talked to
say
his son,
thank you for
Dallas.
flying with us
Trying to find
today
him.
here on the
And,
Automotive.com Flight
almost
101. Please extinguish all
Got ate up
cigarettes
with
and cigars.
some
Place
kind
your
of
seats in the
season.
upright position.
That man sure made
Fasten
me
your
laugh.
seatbelt.
You would
Please do not try to
Well,
exit through the
we're
exit
all
door.
here.
3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may
Charlie
lead
said
you
his
to
wife,
find
Tammy's
a wealth
gonna be
of
calling
knowledge that can possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
Yeah, now that one part, they were actually talking about Bo.
What, the 3, 2, 1?
No. Yeah, if this creates any problems or
yeah.
serious illnesses.
Yeah, exactly.
214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by, well, let's bring him on, Ralph Paul, your CBD store in Keller. How are you, brother?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Boy, that is good to hear. I'm telling you what, I've been praying for my brother Ralph. I mean, I think if we did some DNA, there could be some relationship there. And it is good to hear your voice. It's good to hear that energy coming out. And what's going on at your CBD
You wouldn't happen
store
to be
today?
Ronnie, would you?
You know what's going to be funny is we're going to get a phone call and he's going to go, hey, this is Ronnie Chase.
I know that's going to be great.
So are you at the store today?
I'll be there shortly. We have a red rose for all the mothers today.
Wow.
My beautiful wife is running the store to begin with.
Carol.
Carol, yeah, she's there ready to rock and roll. So, we just have a sale for all the Mother's Day. We have the infused collagen. We have the body lotion, the bath salts, the bath bombs, and probably the most great product we have is the award-winning topical cream. That has the MSM, peppermint, arnica, coca, shea butter, and then there's 4,000 milligrams of CBD. And I know that's one of your favorite, along with the menthol spray. So, these are great products to give mom or your wife or anybody that you love.
Yes. Now, I want you to know that I'm holding up in the camera the menthol spray, and this is the only thing that gets me through the radio show. Is that I put this on my back, which I will be doing shortly, and they gave me a bunch of hydrocodone, which I only took 2 the second day. I fractured 2 vertebrae and crushed some muscles in my back, and now I only use the CBD cream and the spray, and then I'll put the gel on in the afternoon, and this product has wiped away every bit of medication, and I'm on the mend. And
that's the spray right there?
That's the spray.
Okay.
And so I'll use it here in a little bit because my back's hurting right now. But I'll put the spray on, and it'll get me for another hour and a half or so, 2 hours, and then go home, put the cream on, and I'm good to go. And my brother wasn't able to move for almost 2 weeks, Ralph. I came by. You guys sold me some product. I drove all the way out to Ferris, put it on him, and 30 minutes later he looked at me and goes, we're going Dairy Queen. So, and you know me, I've got so many family testimonies on it, and I just tell the people, just stop by and talk with you and Carol. You're both retired. You don't have to do this. She's a retired RN, and find out about the great world of CBD, because it's not about the high, it's about the health.
Exactly. And we would love to hear from you. Please give us a call at the store. We do ship for free. But we like to educate people. Different products work for different people. A lot of this is based on weight, severity, metabolism. So there's just a lot of variables that we've been trained on, and we just love helping people.
USDA certified organic. They ship for free. And the thing is, have the dialogue. What's going on in your body? They don't make medical claims ever, but I tell you what, I can give you 20 family and friend testimonials where we've had parents take their kids off the ADD medicine. My brother had a knee replacement. He was off the drugs in 3 days. I mean, major knee replacement. My sister broke her tibia and fibia. She got on the creams and the spray. A week later, she's not on any medication. In fact, when I'm talking to her on the phone, her husband goes, Carol Ann, you're standing up. And she was like, oh, my gosh. It was one of those cool moments, and that's why I'm a believer in the product, and you should. And for Mother's Day, I'm telling you guys, them flowers are going to die pretty quick. The cards are probably going to get chunked in the trash, but the CBD products that they have at yourcbdstorekeller.com can be a life journey and a big difference. And I'm telling you, those bath bombs and the creams and the lotions, man, Mama's going to love you more. So, Ralph, and you guys ship for free today?
Yes, sir. We ship for free every day. So, we built a big clientele all over the country, which is kind of interesting. So, I mean, we're shipping to California, New Jersey. We're even sneaking it in a little bit to Canada. And it's just been a great
Sneaking? Is that what she says? Sneaking in a little bit.
Knoxville, Tennessee. I know products going there. All right.
Their phone number is 682-593-7299. That's 682-593-7299, and get in touch with them, have the dialogue, and let them lead you in the right direction.
Yep, I know a lot of people, you've gotten watered down or stuffed with a bunch of fillers. This is clean and as good as it gets. And also, when you go to your CBD store, whether it's online or store, check out their new line of seltzers. Ralph, man, it's so good to hear your voice. Glad to hear the energy, and I'll be hugging your neck here shortly.
You got it. I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Hey, tell Carol to have a happy Mother's Day for me.
Absolutely.
I will do that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Your CBD store, Keller.com. And not too late to go, hey, Mom, I ordered you something special, and it's in the mail. But I'm telling you, those bath bombs, the collagen creams, the body lotions, the different products that they have there, your mom will love them. I promise you. My mom is 87 years old, and I brought her some cream, and she called me and go, I can't believe it. My hand doesn't hurt anymore. I'm like, this stuff is fantastic. Dr. Ferrari is the best in the business. Remember, it's not the high, it's the health. Your CBD store, Keller.com. Joining us, the one and only, the Rahamishi Filimi Belliboni of credit, Jacqueline Shapiro. I got some more, too.
So funny.
I got more for you. That's just one of many.
That should be y'all's website. Philly Bella Belliboni.
Yeah. Yeah. Try saying that 3 times fast.
I just couldn't.
You know, there's a lot of people that don't understand how credit works. You want to get your kids started in credit. There's a lot of people that a big thing now is people selling their identity to other people. I had no idea that was going on. I'm like, what do you mean? So we're giving them our information, and they're opening up credit cards, but they're not getting credit cards. They're coming directly to me. I'm like, are y'all stupid? I mean, for real? And this guy's showing them how to manipulate the credit system. I was listening to this guy for just a few minutes going, why would you even trust this guy? Because just think about it. You're giving them the most personal piece of information you can in your life, and that's your freaking Social Security number, which you got to protect it. For me, I put all of my kids on all of our different notes. They all got a credit card. The bills came directly to me with my address, so I knew everything that they were doing. I've never given any of my kids, especially my daughter, God love her, a credit card and go, hey, have a great time. Because they're all going to do what? They're going to be too embarrassed to come to mom and dad to pay it off or not have the money to pay it off and then come home with bad credit from college. So you spent all that money educating them, but they really weren't educated in the field. And there's information that you can give to consumers to go, here's the real deal. This is how it works.
Exactly. And that's the problem, right? Because credit is not taught. You can't go to school and get it. There's not a college course on it. So where do you get the real from, the myth from the fact?
Right.
You go on YouTube, half of it's decent information. Half of it's completely wrong.
Right.
Garbage.
So how do you know the difference?
Well, that's why they need to get in touch with you so you can read them in the right direction. That is the way to go. And I don't think a lot of people realize how important, and I don't know why we've moved into this. I'm not saying I like it, but it is what it is. Credit rating is important. It affects everything about your life. Maybe the percentage on a car note, which is what we do here on this show. We talk about that a lot, about know what your credit is before you go, so that you just don't walk in and uneducated about where you are, because that could make a difference on the amount of payment and what the interest rate is. But that's with everything.
Well, and if you guys go to the website, in 20 minutes, I break down what the actual cost of credit is.
Oh, sweet.
And those low credit scores, it's $10,000 a year, 10 to 15 actually.
Wow.
Just because of the credit score.
All right, let's talk about fact
1
or
minute.
fiction. What? Golly, way to go, Maddie. This one I had a great question.
Why don't you
I just
ask
want
it and we'll
everyone
try to
know
remember
I'm
it.
just doing my job. I'm doing my job.
She's
Giving you a minute heads up.
She's got a long day, Kurt. I wouldn't push the
That's right. You
envelope.
got a 12-hour day. I love you, Maddie. I do.
So ask the question and then we'll come back to it.
No, what I want to talk about is the fact or fiction of inquiries on people's
good point.
bureaus that people are unaware of, on what's fact and fiction on inquiries. When we get back here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190
Now you have 20
KFXR,
seconds.
part of the iHeart Media Network, 214-787-1190. I love that girl. We'll be right back.
Maddie's on top of it with the tunes,
She
bro.
has got it rocking going on today.
Oh, yeah.
So how have you been overall?
Good. I've
Try-
been
Trying to
good.
help everybody out there. You doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, I put this,
This day and age has got to be a lot of activity because of everything just being so out of control. Everything just seems to be out of touch. And, from groceries to items to cars to houses to whatever. And it's really taking a bite out of people. And so they sometimes may be sacrificing what they should be doing for something that they think is more important that may not be for them. They may look at it that, hey, I'm going to sacrifice this or payment or something because, my bread is more important. And we get that. But that bread may end up being a lot more costly to you by not doing the right thing, right?
Right. Well, I mean, we can't influence inflation. I think Warren Buffett said there's only like 2 or 3 people on the entire planet that understand inflation.
Oh, is that right?
I'm not one of them.
Yeah, join the club.
But
I think what I know about inflation is everything's just a lot higher. That's what I know
really
about
is.
it. And
it really is.
To me, it's been a huge thing with everything so dadgum high. I mean, it doesn't matter from a screwdriver to a screw to, it doesn't matter. Everything is just, you go in there and you go, what? It's that price now? It's insane. So, it's putting a lot of people in some bad ways, and it's a bad thing. It's too bad. Hopefully in November we can make a difference.
I hope we can. But,
what do you think? You thinking we can?
I hope
We're better?
So. Something needs to change.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it does.
But on your question about as far as the cost of everything, I mean, it's really insane when you take a look at all of the things that we do in our life, from just like home insurance, car insurance, buying the car.
And what a sad day when they started allowing insurance companies to look at your credit score to determine your rate.
I know.
What a sad day that was.
Yeah, that's insane.
That bad things happen to so many good people, and they get punished because
And so what difference does that make? I go like, that's insane, because what difference does it make? If you're going to charge me an X amount of dollars for insurance and I pay it and you're insuring that item, what difference is if I got no credit? I mean, I'm paying
You're a higher risk. They don't care.
You're
How does that
massively.
be a high risk when you're paying the
Insurance company
premium?
is a modern day mafia. I'm telling you.
Well, so is the
ugly.
IRS, but that's another story. But
it's just ugly out there on how many things that affect you just because of a number.
Yeah, that's insane.
And it's thousands. It's thousands and thousands of dollars with that 3-digit number.
Yeah, you just think about long-term payouts, what it costs you not to have that 660 or better score
1 minute
on average, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime if you're buying a home and buying cars, it's going to cost you.
Well,
it's just terrible.
A lot of people, when I say, good or bad credit could cost you $1 million over your lifetime, they're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. But it can, right?
Oh,
I just saw this
easily.
lady, she posted this thing that what her Coach purse cost her by the time she paid off her credit card. And it was 5 times the cost of the purse.
Wow.
I went, what? And then you think, but we don't do the math. We're complaining that, the cars right now are at 6.5%. Well, look at your credit card. Once you go from 0, you jump up to 22.99.
Or
if
maybe
that,
higher.
even higher than that. You're going, who's the bad guy here?
10 seconds.
That's why I've got at the end of my month 0,000 on my cards. I have an automatic pay. That's what I like. I mean, American Express, you pay a high fee in June to have it, but it reminds you pay that bad boy off. Boy, she's doing a little boot scooting back there in the studio, isn't she?
That's a dobro.
I was singing Garth Brooks' Low Places, and Bo was making fun of me. I can sing. Just because you're a big bass player and drummer, you've been on stage, the girls throwing stuff up at you, so what? I can sing. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Calling is a great time to talk to Jackie about credit, moms and dads. Let me tell you, one of the best gifts you can give to your kids is knowledge. It's knowledge, and you may not have the knowledge, and that's what we have Jackie Shapiro for. Shapiro-Hearst.com. That's Shapiro-Hearst.com. Get educated. Put your pride in your pocket. I know moms and dads want to know everything, but there's some things we don't know. And that's why I'm blessed to have Jackie in my life to go, hey, here's the problem and situation. I mean, I walked right in her office and you say, well, you know, your friend, you have a radio show. Let me tell you what, she would much rather see you than me and talk to you than me, because she's helped me in so many areas where I call her in emergencies where you need to just have that common knowledge of how to handle that each and every day when it comes to it. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to make that one turn and go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was on here. I didn't know this happened. And you just went from 1.9 to 9% or 10%. And do the math, what it will cost you long term. Hey, this segment of the show is brought to you by the great folks over at Grapevine Ford, home of the Love It or Leave It promise. I'm going to tell you, go meet Cameron Martin, new car director, Grapevine Ford, right between Texan Trail and Main Street on Highway 114, and enjoy the experience of owning a new Ford. Ralph went over there. He couldn't believe it. He goes, I finally met a true salesman, and not one that was just full of baloney, but someone that really sat and took care of his wants and needs, tailored the truck to him, and then he drove off in his brand new Ford F-150. The place, Grapevine Ford, the true home of the Love It or Leave It promise. You get it home, you don't love it, bring it back and leave it and get the one that you do love. Online all the time at grapevineford.com. That's grapevineford.com. Let's talk inquiries. There's so many people that say, well, I don't want to do this because I was told that if I get an inquiry, it drops me 30 points. If I go and look at 4 different cars, it's going to drop me 100 points, and I can't get the rate I want. How do inquiries actually work?
Yeah, I get that call all the time. So first and foremost, inquiries and new credit are only 10% of your credit score. They are very minor points.
Is that per one?
No. So if we break this down into per inquiry, first thing I would tell you is there are 3 rate shopping events. So if you're buying a house, you're buying a car, or you're shopping for a student loan, any of those inquiries within a 30-day period, as far as the score is concerned, not all the inquiries will show up on the report. Right. And that's fine. But as far as the score is concerned, they all collapse in on each other. They cost you 2 to 3 points. That's it. Now, if you go shop for a car and that's 2 to 3 points, and you go get a new cell phone and that's 2 to 3 points, and you have a mortgage lender go pull your report, then that's 2 or 3 points. So if you go do all
get
these
a new credit card, that's it.
Right. So if you do all of these things in a very short period of time, that's where it can actually
What if you
add
go to
up.
5 dealerships in one day?
Doesn't matter. 2 to 3 points for every single one.
Doesn't matter. People think, I don't know where we're coming up with hundreds of points, but hundreds of points is not true.
None of that is true. That is absolute myth.
Yeah, I get somebody, well, I don't want to pull my credit. I don't want it to drop down 100 points. I'm like, where did you come up with that number? Well, I was on the internet. Turn it off. The place, Shapiro-Hearst.com. I'm telling you, you want to know the true meat and potatoes. You want to pull the curtain behind the Oz. Jackie's got the answers for you. And here's the thing. I can't say this enough. What a great gift to give your kiddos, to have them take a course with Jackie and learn what this is really all about. Because I'm going to tell you what, it's just like growing up when you were younger and your dad taught you how to change oil and change a tire and do a little plumbing work. I remember seeing my dad take a broomstick and put it in the disposal and turn it backwards and fixed it. And my brother's disposal was messed up, and this plumber was like, yeah, I forgot what he was going to charge. So I put the broom down, I turned it backwards, and that thing just worked. And you guys, don't you remember the old man doing it? It's these little things in life that if you're understanding of and taught will save you so much money. And what Jackie has to offer at, pennies on the dollar can save you hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions long term.
Yeah, and you guys can find that masterclass on our website at Shapiro-Hearst.com/services. And you can pick up for $87. You've got 25 plus years experience condensed into a few hours to really give you the knowledge to put your hands around how credit really works, how to read reports.
Yeah, because people think that you just pay your bills and everything will be fine, but there's so much more involved. Let me there was one thing I want to ask is, what are the laws on pulling your bureaus and checking your bureaus, and with your expertise, how would the best way for people go about monitoring their credit?
I personally use Identity IQ. That's the one I like. I don't Now look, I've got a free Credit Karma account, but if that's the only source you're using, guys, it's notoriously inaccurate. I've seen it show things that weren't really there. I've seen it not show things that really are there. So if you want really good credit monitoring, go get a good service. It'll probably cost you about $25 to $28 a month. But if you ask what I personally use, that's one I use.
Yeah, I think it's so important. My big thing was that I was very upset when I called them, and they actually both gave me a free year of credit monitoring for the fact that someone used my social, and I wasn't even told, and it didn't even show up as an inquiry. That's what really bothered me. It had us down. They said, "Hey, we apologize. Here's the rules. You qualify, you get 1 free year." I said, even if it was 10 free years, you're still not doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know that someone used my social security number. So we've got. Did you just come in the headset and say something, Maddie?
I did. I gave you a 1 minute heads up, and now you're down to 30 seconds.
Wow. Listen to her tone. I'm going to tell you
That's
what.
Coach Maddie.
I'm going to get you a gift card for some really good coffee. How about that?
I took my headset off so I wouldn't have to hear.
Better move yet.
Boy, she is game on today. All right, let's take a quick break. It's top of the hours. Don't go away. Can you hang out?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
So, Jackie, Charles says, can a place really do a soft pull on your credit? They say it won't affect your credit, or is that a lie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, what?
You got it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Charles is saying, can a place really do a soft pull on your credit? They say it won't affect your credit, or is that a lie? Because I've seen that before.
No, soft pulls do not affect your credit.
So that's
true.
Acceptable, right?
Yeah,
when they say
absolutely
we're
true.
going to check, but we're not going to. It's not going to hurt your credit. That's true.
Absolutely true. Okay, during the break, I'm going to step out for a few minutes and let Jazz jump in here.
Okay.
I'll see you guys back in a few.
Ready? Yes, sir. How do you spell the last name?
It's B as in boy, E-A-D as in David, L-E-S.
How you doing? I'm Bo.
Bo, I'm Rick Beagle.
Glad to meet you,
Did
Rick.
they steal your name for the band?
Yeah.
They did. Did you get any compensation?
Not yet. I'm still waiting.
Were you?
Come on over.
So you were the fifth Beatle,
I was the fifth.
or the sixth?
I was the fifth.
And you're the fixed operations director?
Yes.
Here, take this and put it on and see how we have our mics right close to our face.
Okay.
Have it like that, and we'll check your volume and test you out and see what you think. Try that. Talk a little bit.
Yeah. Is that
You sound good.
is that the right volume
You
for
felt-
me? Because I can hear it very well.
Okay, good. You sound good, and you're
You're
look,
good.
This,
Okay.
this guy's a professional. Look how he does
Yeah.
it with the mic. And you know, you
Far
either
from it.
been
Far-
in radio or
Far
you're
from it.
are you an ex preacher?
You know.
He wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there you go. I do a lot of different
That was
things.
good.
But yeah, maybe
Well,
in
I
a
know they
former
know-
life.
I know they know how to use those microphones for sure.
My voice just carries a great deal.
No, it sounds
so-
good. You're
so,
great. Sounds
Well, if
real
you're in the
good.
car business, it needs to carry.
Yeah, it does have to. It does have to.
Well, we're live right now. We're taking a break on radio, but we're live right now on Facebook and YouTube here at the Automotive Edge Facebook page. And then on YouTube, it's the Automotive Edge Radio Show YouTube page, channel, actually. And then we broadcast it through our personal pages as well. So a lot of people get to hear this broadcast and tune in, and it's archived.
Hey, Charlie, when we get back, I'll ask Jackie. I'll have her answer those questions. I just got a couple that popped up. So she'll be able to answer that when she jumps back on.
So people will be able to go back and look at this show. If you will tell them, hey, we were on the radio. Of course, radio was not archived, but
Now, I don't want you to be too good and get me kicked off the radio and take my spot, okay?
Well,
just
you
kind of
know,
pull the
it-
reins a little bit, Mr. Beadle.
It could happen.
I paid
know.
him to try to do it.
It could happen. Don't so.
Don't tell him what I
the Bo and Beetle show?
Yeah, there it is right there. Don't tell him how much I paid you to take his spot.
He's forever trying to get me out of here.
Well, how long you guys been doing this?
20 years.
Okay.
Well, he worked for Judge Judy for 20 years and then started his own radio show and then jumped on board.
That's how we met. Then I've been with the Automotive Edge for 5 years.
Ah, okay. Okay. And that's what this is, the Automotive Edge. That's
show.
a radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ran dealerships for a little over 20 years.
Yeah.
And went to retire, and they just like in The Godfather, they just kept pulling me in.
The more he tried to get out, the more they
And then I went by Salem to cut a commercial for an auto group, and the guy goes, "What do you do for a living?" He goes, "You need a radio show." I said, "I don't do radio." And so I did a little 30-minute set clip called the Texas Car Clinic.
Uh-huh.
And the needle went off the rails, and so here we are 20 years later.
20 years later.
From doing a commercial.
Yeah, well, from doing a commercial.
Yep.
Well.
So how long you been in the business?
Keep it. I have been in the car business for 41 years.
Wow. You got me beat by 5.
Just getting started, huh?
Yeah, just getting started.
It's a hobby.
Trying to figure out how all this works, and yeah.
His wife asked him, "What do you do?" "It's just a hobby."
It's just a hobby.
That's right.
Do you live close to the dealership?
Yeah, I live over in Garland.
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. Just hit 190 and come down.
That's awesome.
I used to work in Garland when it was Myers Courtesy Ford.
Myers Courtesy Ford, yeah.
And Randall Reed come in and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually walked down the lot, and here's this little blonde-haired kid, shook his hand, and he has me show him a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "One of these days you're going to run this store." And I went, "Whatever, do you want to buy the truck?" So 6 months later, Jake Bass owned it.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "Hey, I want you to meet." I said, "Oh, you're here to buy the truck?" He goes, "No, sir, I'm here to buy the dealership." I said, "You're not old enough to buy a dealership." He was 24 years old, and he had financial backing from the Beck family out of Colorado, and bought the store. And he goes, "You're my new truck director." And I went, "BS, you really are here to buy the truck, right?" And, he goes, and Jake goes, "Kurt, shut up. He's here to buy the store."
He's here to buy the store.
And now he's got 14 dealerships and retired.
My goodness, that's a.
He turned them all over to his daughter, and he's playing golf.
Well, that's a nice gig.
Like I said, boy, I remember that little blonde-haired kid. He goes, "Boy, you tried to just shove that truck down my throat." And I said, "Well, always selling."
Well, it's funny how we
ABCs, always be selling.
Always be selling. That's is that from Glengarry Glen Ross, the movie? Yeah.
Yeah. Always be closing.
Always
I remember
be
he goes,
closing.
I'm getting coffees. No, you're not. Coffee's for closers.
That's what I. Yeah.
That is not a very family friendly movie.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It is
but
great.
But it's a great movie.
Yep.
Hi.
I played that when I took over in my first management job at Champion Ford.
Yeah.
And I played that, and they loved it. Nowadays, you couldn't get away with
No.
You speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. Don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. We're here 100 years in business, the Huffines family, on Plano Parkway at Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. And joining us, the original member of the Beatles, Mr. Beetle. Fix Op Director here at Huffines, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Thanks for, this is probably the last thing on your agenda for coming to work today to get on a radio show.
It might not have been the first. But I'm glad to be here. Thank you, guys.
Did you actually create the Beetle vehicle? Because that was my first vehicle. The Beetle.
Yeah, no. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys.
So if y'all, he's a Fix Op Director here at Huffines, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. You always been in Fix Ops, or how'd you get your feet wet in the business?
That's exactly. I started out in the parts department and moved into the service department. I was a service advisor for a while, service manager for a while, director, and then finally in the fixed ops role.
Right.
And what does that mean?
It's parts and service.
Combination
we have two sides of the business. One is the fixed side, being the parts and service side here in our dealership, and then the variable side is in the sales side.
Okay.
And what that means is everything back there is fixed in pricing. Everything up here is negotiable.
Is
the best way to explain it.
Fixed off.
I remember when I was doing my tour of duty, and Mr. McDavid said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to get off the desk and I want to go back and write service. I want to learn parts and service." He goes, "Oh, little GM expectations, 100%." I said, I've been the top salesman here month in, month out, and so now I want to kind of. He goes, "Well, I tell you what, we're going to get you started Saturn." I went, "Fire me. I am not going to Saturn." And I'll be doggone it the next day. He goes, "You know what? If you hadn't said anything, you're going to Saturn."
And he had to learn the song,
and
too.
I had to sing that stupid launch song every time. And so a week later, he goes, "What's this?" I said, "I'm resigning." He goes, "All right, come on back.
I'm done."
And I went back to service, and it was a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Up front, you're really negotiating, working to get the car deals where you have people that you're a problem solver on the fixed side of things. When people pull up, is they're not there because they want to be, they're there because they have to be or need to be, and then it's your job to complete those needs.
Right. Nobody comes to the service department because they have nothing else to do that day. Haven't ever seen that. Haven't ever seen that.
So what a major adjustment when you back up. I was telling the finance manager and then Rose. I went back and I had some old ROs, and I remember what the internal rates were, what my labor ops were, my parts, and boy, oh boy, to continue to make these adjustments. And my wife has been a warranty administrator for Stellantis for 30 years.
Okay.
And you see all of these price increases and the dealers wanting more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, what an adjustment you've seen in your years back there as far as, and then you've got to relay that to the consumer.
Yes. And it's like everything increases in price, but because with the vehicles, people are very they're very protective of their vehicles. They're because the transportation, and so they want to take care of them. But at times, because of the adjustments and things going on economically, it's not always convenient financially for you to be able to do that. We try to keep a good eye on the market and try to be competitive, but also offer real value with what we do here.
Yep. The guy goes, "What do you remember in part of service?" I remember I was working the LOFs, and he goes, "LOFs?" And I said, "Yeah, lube, oil, and filter." And he goes, "What is that?" I went, "Well, that's where we actually put it on the rack and you lubricated the vehicle, you changed the filter and the oil." He goes, "How long have you been doing it?" He said, "That's not like the dinosaur era." And I went, "You know what? They have LOS now. It's just done different. It's a quick lube or whatever you want to call it.
We call ours the express lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's and another thing we have in this business is way too many acronyms.
Yeah.
We are inundated from start to finish with the cars. Too many acronyms.
Yeah, I get going on the show, and I have people, one guy call me and goes, "Hey, what's a hoopty and a sled and a bucket of bolts and all this stuff?" And I said, "Well, just old car slang, that we used to talk about." So the biggest change is there something you could put your finger on that became a wow factor to you in this industry as you saw the progression of engines and the different ways that we had to start plugging into OBD2 sensors and finding it versus, I remember a guy named Greg Bernard, one of the coolest things I ever saw on the service drive, and I thought he was BSing the consumer. Mm-hmm. He had this long screwdriver, and he put it on the manifold, and he's listening. I'm going, he was done. I went, "Greg, what are you doing?" I said, "Let me tell you, there's enough bad salespeople up frnt. What are you doing back there?" He goes, "I'm listening to the motor." I'm like, "Greg, I'm going to give you one more opportunity. What are you doing?" He goes, "Kurt, come here." And sure enough, I listened to a good valve and a bad valve, and it was all through that, like a stethoscope and a screwdriver. And he goes, "Buddy, this old school stuff is a much better way to fix cars than what they're trying to put on us now."
Put on now. Well, to tell you the truth, that's still a common practice for us.
No way.
we still do that. We're so blessed. We've got a lot of guys with a lot of experience, 20, 30 years multiple techs back there that have got that still use that. But at the same time, they have to be embracing what the future holds. And the biggest change that has gone on has been the evolution of technology. It is just exploded over the past, well, particularly over the past 15, 20 years. But prior to that, it kind of kept an even keel. But now there's so much electronics, so much technology that's locked up in those vehicles. I mean, you've got an air conditioner in that vehicle, that Jeep sitting right over there. You got an air conditioner in that vehicle that'll cool a house.
Right.
I mean, it just to understand what the power behind the technology that they have, it's good for the consumer. It's good for the consumer because we're able to now offer a lot of things that we weren't able to offer before. A lot of the conveniences that are out there. Yes, sometimes some of them do act up, but for the most part, they spend a lot of time in research and development on these, and they do a decent job in giving us vehicles that that are ready to go, even first-year productions.
You think they're diagnosing the problems any faster than now than before?
Absolutely, because the system is, when we do a repair, a repair under warranty on a new vehicle automatically goes to the warranty center. It immediately is dispatched out, and they've got engineers that are looking at these repairs, talking and researching, okay, what happened here, what do we do here? And we are seeing...
to prevent that on the next development and build.
That's exactly right. And much quicker fixes come to us. We get them rapidly now. Well,
they're quality vehicles too. In a pre-owned vehicle, I mean, they look brand new, they sound brand new, they act brand new, even with quite a few thousand miles on them. I mean, just the change of that has been astronomical.
It has been, and it's really helpful for the consumer because if you will take care of this, and that's the number one problem that the cars have, if you just had to categorize one area, the biggest downfall is people not taking
And you know what? There's such a misnomer. They think because they're building them better, they have to take care of them less, and that's just not true.
And that's not true. But just the fundamentals, those oil changes, keeping your tires inflated, if your fluid changes that you need, just those simple things. And then it can be just like you said, that you can keep that car for a long time, and it'll run just fine.
You know, one thing I keep telling people that they don't realize that the dealer doesn't build the cars. The manufacturers assemble them, but they have, on average, 105 vendors they bring together to build these cars that you become responsible for in the service department. And I tell people, this dealer sold me no, hang on a second. They're not building, they're assembling.
Yeah.
You ever hear that manufacturers build cars? They assemble cars as they go through all their distributors and make sure that all of this stuff has been true and tested. They put it together, some with flaws, some with faults, some with bad oversight, whatever the case may be, which falls back on you. So don't be so mean to the service department. They didn't build the car.
Well, not only that, the dealership
because you hear it all the time.
Certainly, the dealership didn't build them for sure.
No. And thank you for that disclaimer. Because some people, I think, do at times believe that we do.
Right in the back.
Yeah, they got a lemon problem, or whatever the case may be. But I would just tell them, give the dealer the opportunity.
And the thing, particularly with this dealership, and why I'm so blessed to have been here for 31 years.
Wow.
In my role, and is because we always do the right thing. We're going to take care of the
guy here in the suit.
Marginally. Yeah. No,
Scale of 1 to 10.
He's good. Now let's don't go.
We don't want to do the numbers.
Satisfaction on your surveys is easier now or harder now?
It is harder. It is harder. There's a lot of Well, there's a lot of questions, but there's lots of variables in there.
I think there's higher expectations on quality,
and
too.
that's the thing, and not just the quality, but the experience itself.
Yep.
Because a lot of dealers, are providing, very good customer experiences. We, for us, that's the main thing that we're after. We can fix cars.
Right.
We can fix cars. But what we need to be doing is we need to be providing a superior service experience for those folks that come in, because the truth is people may buy a car, but servicing the car is always going to sell the next one.
That's right, 100%.
And if they have good experiences with us, and even though they might be leaning towards something else, if they've connected well with the service advisor and have a good relationship, they'll come back. And when it's time to buy again, they'll do that. And that's how the Huffines family has perpetuated this business for 100 years. That's the philosophy behind it.
Mr. Beatles?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Great
It's
time.
a pleasure.
Man,
Thank you, guys.
You want a job?
Thank
next
you.
time we're coming out, we're just going to turn the show over to him.
No.
All right.
No.
Hey, we got to take a quick break, pay some bills. Don't go away. 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show here on iHeartRadio. We'll be right back.
Awesome. You did a great job. Thank you, Facebook and YouTube, for being a part of our broadcast today. Like and share the show, please. So we hope that you will, and keep this ball rolling for everybody to know that we're here every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to noon here on Talk Radio 1190 and here on the Automotive Edge Facebook page and the Automotive Edge Radio Show channel on YouTube. So,
They did build this car. No, they did not. But we can fix it. If you'll let us, we can fix it. So next time we're back.
yeah. Now our shows are archived, so if you want to go check it out later or share, it's on Facebook on the right. That's it.
I will.
Check it out. Yeah, you did a super job. Fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much. Enjoying it.
Where's Jackie?
She just walked by that way.
Okay. Holler at her, because we got a bunch of questions popping up. And then everybody's asking if I'm going to be here at 2 or 3 o'clock today. I'm like, you had all this time to come out and see me, and now you want to come out at 2 or 3.
Well, they got to sleep in, Kurt. Come on, give them a chance. All right.
That's right.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody, I said this earlier, if you're on Facebook with us, if you wouldn't mind going to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. That's the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Subscribe to that channel. It'll help boost our rating and our improvement to get out there for people to see. We will appreciate it if you're doing that. That's youtube.com, the Automotive Edge Radio Show. The shows are archived there. So
Diane, John, Cavazos. That's a new name.
Cavasso.
Cavazos.
That's not be a good name for a car.
What
kind of car you drive?
I haven't seen that name on the show before.
I drive a Cavasso.
Gerald Wade keeping up with each hour.
Yes, he is. And one of the questions has already been answered to Charlie Davis. He says, and I quote, Bo has been on the ball this morning. She has answered everything she was asked. Thanks for all the help to get us pointed in the right direction to go and get stuff figured out. Bo has been on the ball.
That's a baloney.
Explanation point.
Unbelievable.
I'm not getting into this one.
Come on.
Charlie, don't go there, buddy. Once you do this, there's two things that are going to happen. His head's going to swell up. He ain't going to make it through the door. Then he's going to ask for more money. Yeah. Don't do this.
My head will swell before I get the money. I can tell you that. So what do we got?
Would you drive that car, Jackie?
Heck Yeah.
You'd look hot in that car.
Oh, she would.
That is a gorgeous automobile.
That is.
Pretty cool.
Charlie, what? I don't get that. Bo's on the ball. Let that go.
1 minute.
All these girls, I love Bo. Bo so Bo.
Well, I love them. Don't be such a hater. You talk about haterade.
I'm helping a lady with a vehicle. She takes delivery. She goes, "Oh, by the way, how's Bo?" Ma'am, I wish you'd asked that up front and I wouldn't have helped you. I'm tired of talking about Bo.
You want to clarify that the next time they give you a call.
Do you want me or Bo?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not answering the questions if you asked about Bo, so let's get that out in the open.
I can see Bo. Bo, I need some help with the car. You should have called Kurt.
That's exactly right. I'll drive him over.
I'm here for the entertainment.
I'll pick him up and drive him over to Kirk's house. Here's your answer right there.
Kirk, we have your credit card. We're going to lunch after you tell this lady how to buy a car. Yeah, sure.
Sushi, here we come, right?
That's right.
Hilton.
Boy, it's artists like that they're always immediately identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
Top entertainer.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Joining us, the great Jackie Shapiro. Thanks for taking your Saturday and come out and hang out with us. And I know you had to deal with Bo, but
I took a shower and wore deodorant just for you today.
Let me jump into a couple of questions here that you guys sent me, and then we'll jump over here because I got some questions for Jackie. First one says, Kurt, do you think there'll ever be another large sedan built? I'm hoping and praying with the new hydrogen technology, the new hybrid technology, that they can build the drivetrain to bring a big car out. The Charger and Challengers, probably a few of the last big cars are coming back only in the Charger electric. Hopefully we'll see an ICE car back. But Cadillac, Lincoln, I wish they would put some big cars back on the road. We have the technology. It's just, will they do it? Because I'm a big car guy. Is it better to take the rebates now instead of the higher APR? You just got to do the math on that. If you figure $10 per interest point over the term, that will tell you whether to take the rebate or the APR. So instead of the $2,500, they give you a 2.9 or 3.9%. Well, take those extra points. Say there's 4 extra points. That's $40 times the month times the term. And if it comes out more than what the rebate is, take the APR. If it comes out less, take the rebate. That's the best math. Take $10 a point times the months by the year, and then look at the rebate. And there's an even amount of money to tell you this one's better than the other one. Just basic math. Join us, Shapiro-Hurst.com. Jacqueline Shapiro. What is the definition of a soft pull, and is that really a real thing?
It is. So you have a soft pull and you have a hard pull. Soft pulls are just a basic check of the credit without doing what they physically call a hard pull or hard inquiry to extend credit.
Now, how do they do that to where it does that?
It's just a coding. So if you go into mortgage, you go into, let's say, Capital One.
Right.
There are several different ways that they can do.
It's kind of a single slot, not an open realm like that, kind of like that.
If you give them permission to do a soft pull, that's what they need, a permissible purpose, and they can run that credit pull as a soft inquiry, so it does not. So it does not. Right. So it doesn't.
So it's the way they're coding it when they put in your social.
Okay.
Well, it's not the social. It's the way that they're coding the report itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. How long before bad credit falls off your bureau?
Great question.
And I would just tell you this. It was... I had my first car in 1979, and about 8 years ago, it was still on there. I couldn't believe it. I looked at me, and I was like, man, I've got some old stuff on here. So my belief is as long as the creditor wants to report, true or false.
False.
Okay.
So let's start at 30,000 feet. Good credit stays on for 10 years. Bad credit stays on for 7 years. Now, let's say you get a 30-year mortgage, right? But your first payment, for whatever reason, comes in late. For the entire lifespan of that mortgage, it'll be considered a negative or derogatory account because you have one late payment on it. But once you're
growing with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so if you have this account that's open, and let's say you have late payments or you got behind, life happened, whatever the case is, then from the time it's closed, you've got a 7-year time frame.
What if you refinance? Would that fall off?
If you refinance with another company, it becomes a new loan. And so then again, that 7 years, if it's bad or negative, would start.
Got it. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. What's a good debt to ratio?
Well, credit cards are usually the question there. And if we look at the top 1% of all credit scores in the country, that balance is usually at 7% of the limit. So revolving credit or credit cards and lines of credit will affect your credit scores more than any other type of credit. So in other words, you buy $500,000 home or $250,000 home and you owe $249,000 on it. That is not going to affect you as much as having a $10,000 credit card with a $9,000 balance.
All right. Yeah, you limited your revolving.
Yes, that's the first line of defense. And so if you're wanting to optimize your credit scores, bring your credit card balances to less than 10% of your limit. Once you're there, you're fully optimized. If you have your balance at less than 30% of your limit, then it's going to be considered healthy. But the moment that your balance on a credit card hits 50%, you're automatically going to take a dive. It's going to suppress your credit scores. And if you exceed the limit on your credit card, you take what I call the triple hit. So not only is it going to lower your score further, you're going to open the door for the credit card company to raise your interest rates. And in the background that you may not even know about, other companies can see you've exceeded limits in the past, and it can
do the same thing to them. They can do that too, huh?
And be considered negatively against you.
Let's handle a couple questions here. When adding accessories to a truck, which one will void the warranty? The ones that were put on bad. I hear too many times, especially now, the customizing of trucks and Jeeps, your American Muscle, people going, I was told they couldn't work on the car because what I did voided the warranty. Let me help you with that. The only time you void the warranty would be if that accessory affected the original manufacturer's parts. Period. Let's say you put a cold air intake on there and it messed up the programming on the O2 sensor. Okay, well, you're going to have an issue there. If you put on a lift kit and it affected the suspension, it's going to affect the warranty on the suspension, not the whole car. Only on the affected problems due to the accessory bad installment or bad product
that is associated with that problem.
Yeah, so if you put tires and wheels, you raise it up and you go from 20s to 26s or whatever, and it starts affecting the expansion, the toe, and the toe means the direction of the tire straight up and down or whether it's towed in or out. That's not going to be covered. You're going to have to go back to the people that did the tires and the wheels. And I will tell you, before you put a lift kit on, before you go putting stereo equipment on, and you have an effect on your electronic warranty, check their warranties and how they stand behind the products that they did where it doesn't affect the warranty when you bring it into service. And I get that a lot. Who installed it? Well, Joe Bag of Donuts Audio. Okay, you need to go over to Joe Bag of Donut Audio and pull the warranty and find out how their warranty is going to cover you because the service wouldn't, because it wasn't wired in correctly. But it doesn't mean your whole warranty on your car is gone. I get that all the time. You were just at the wrong place when they told you, well, you just voided your whole warranty. No, it's only the affected parts of the installed accessories that you put on your car, period. Our lease residuals lower than that of the value of the car. Not sure what to do. Do not turn in your lease car without getting with me. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, scroll down. There's a trade appraisal form. Fill it out. I told the story of a really good friend of mine, Bob, was going to turn in his Lexus. He had $11,000 equity. $11,000. $11,000. And he called me. He did a 4-year lease. The car only had 9,000 miles on it. And he went to turn it in. I said, hang on, we appraised it. And he goes, Kurt, it's a lease. I said, I know. And so he pulled in the dealer, and you know what the manager told me? He goes, Kurt, I hate your guts. He goes, why? Because I was fixing to get the keys to that car. And so they wrote him a check for $11,000. So, and that's not everyone. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you got 11,000, but let's know before you go and just turn that car in. Because I've told you the stories. The guy turned it in. I appraised it. He went back to the dealer and goes, hey, I want my car back. But it was too late. You already turned it in and signed it over. They're not going to give it back. They know you made a mistake.
I got money on my lease return.
That's right. Let's do it before the problem happens.
Send it back. Sell it.
214-787-1190 is the number. Joining us, Jacqueline Shapiro, some guy next to her, and Maddie back in studio. We'll be right back. You know what? It's going to be so funny. I'm going to get emails. You need to quit picking on Bo. Leave Bo alone.
And the first one's going to do that is going to be Melinda.
It's just incredible. And then we got that, what is her name? She was on earlier. She goes, I can't believe Bo just doesn't smack you. I'm like, let me tell you, if you don't think Bo dishes out as much as he gets, you are highly mistaken. And all these, I'm telling you, everywhere I go, all the women, so tell me more about Bo. Freaking call him. Let him give you his life story. I ain't got nothing. I don't know what kind of mojo.
I'll pay him to call you and ask you that.
That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, right when what was her name? Audra. She goes, so how is it working with Bo?
What do you mean?
Out of everything we talked about, she never brought him to. So how's it working with Bo? I said, it's just like working with Bo. There was something really special about him. Like, oh, I gotta go.
Maybe she meant I rode one of those short buses. Maybe that's what she meant by special.
Not the good kind of special.
Yeah, not that I was so special, but special.
I wonder what his wife's like. Well, she's a nurse and a professional wrestler.
Yeah. That's why I have to be kind to everybody.
Yeah, he's married to Ronda Rousey.
Right. That's right. His honeydew, I promise you, gets done.
Yes, exactly. Yes. All right, my head's in the turnbuckle.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met her, I was like, walked in the studio, and boy, I forgot what I did, and Barbara Ann put me right in my place, and I was like, something about her. I just went, yes, ma'am. I get it. I love that woman. And when a fight breaks out, she's on my team.
No doubt. No doubt. In fact, if it's a team, she'd be the team. We just sit back and watch.
That's hilarious.
They do those tags.
Hey, did you see what Gerald Wade just put on there?
No.
I accidentally fell asleep while listening to the Ed Wallace show in the Car Pro show.
Gerald, that's the funniest thing you've ever put on our on a message.
That's the best compliment we've ever had.
That is bad to the bone right there. It's funny.
They were obviously very entertaining.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, Ed Wallace is gone. It's now John Ingram.
Really?
Ed's he still runs around, does a commercial, and acts like it's his show. But yeah, they got a new crew in there. So
look at Wesley Stewart. Do you see him with his picture? Down in Florida.
Yeah,
Wesley Stewart.
Awesome. I'm gonna be heading to Florida.
Florida in the house.
Yep. My buddy said I can't go unless I go lobster diving.
You mean like scuba diving for lobster?
No, lobster diving. So you just put on the goggles, and everybody, you have to buy a license, and they take a mop and cut the broom handle in half. I'm like, okay, now you think Kurt's falling for any of this. But I didn't know. I went on and I watched, and they take where these holes are, and they put the old mop, and they spin it, and the claws grab it, and now they get tangled, and you pull them out, and you bring them up to the boat, and they measure them, either keep it or throw it in. Throw it back.
There you go.
So much easier with a scuba tank, Kurt.
It's so much easier to go to Red Lobster and say, I want that
one. 1 minute.
Hey.
Yeah, but this guy, he's got a boat. I mean, it's not even a boat. It's
a home on the water.
Big. And the back end opens and lowers you down the water, and it's just so many feet down below.
Right.
And then by the time everybody's done, the chef's already preparing the lobster on the boat.
Nice. I'll tell you what, we were in Florida, and I brought up, excuse me, I brought up a lobster, but one of the other guys, have you ever seen those old laundry baskets? They're like yay big, right?
Mm-hmm.
This lobster fit across the entire laundry basket.
Wow.
No joke. I was like, oh my gosh, you got a granddaddy there.
They went crab fishing. They catch these, I forgot what the stone crabs, and they break the claws off and throw them back in. They regenerate their claws. And next thing you know, they had these big baskets, and oh my, you talk about eating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I love seafood. I could. I know you shouldn't eat a whole lot because of the mercury and blah blah blah, but I love seafood. Who's this?
That is.
Mm-hmm.
I got.
I love his weekly show in his barn.
Oh yeah, that's Daryl Hall.
Yeah, Hall and Oates. I love that show. The people that he has show up in his barn to play.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic, and the way they communicate and talk and get it all together, and then when they have it, it's bomb.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214. Remember, if you have an automotive need, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop, simplify it. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt. There is not anybody I don't know in this industry, from Lamborghini to Kia to Toyota to Honda, parts, service, body shop. We got you covered. I don't charge you a dime, and I don't broker with the dealer. We say if we save you time, volunteer. We save you money, pay it forward. Be that person in line that, you're buying your food and you pick up the tab behind you. And I love the story that guy told. He said he's in the drive-thru and the lady behind him is honking and yelling and honking. And he goes, man, she's just having a bad day. Can you hurry up? And he said the order took really long. So he says, okay, I'm going to take care of it. He goes, hey, I want to take care of the car behind us, and I need both receipts. And so he gets up to the window, and the lady he goes, here, I need this order and this one too. And he took both orders. He goes, now I'll teach her to quit being me. She got to drive all the way back around and start over again. But we don't broker with anybody. But if I buy, I won't pick up both receipts. I'll take care of your. But I'm not doing that coffee. That cup of coffee cost me $7.04 this morning.
You know how much mine cost me?
Nothing. I am out. I'm telling you, I will never buy another cup of coffee there again. Ever.
Well, I've been trying to tell you that for the longest.
I'll quit drinking coffee. Hey, joining us, Jackie Shapiro, Shapiro-Hearst.com. Moms and
spell
Dad.
it too. It's SHAPIRO-HURST.com.
Yeah,
Hey.
go on the website, guys. Watch the free webinar. It's 20 minutes. Learn what your credit score is really costing you. And if you really want to learn how credit works and how you can become your own hero, go on the website. We've got a masterclass. It's $87. It's a stupid price.
Let me ask you a question. Our friend Jimmy McDavid found that old trophy.
No, he didn't.
And he found it in a carriage, like a horse and carriage. And it was all enclosed. And this thing was a true Wells Fargo carriage or coach. If I took that plate off and put your name on it, would that make you happy?
No. I take the W when I earn it.
I'll put in bracket 800 points, only you'll know what that means.
I'll
get it polished up for you.
Man, I am never going to live down losing by 1 point. Ever.
And I'm not going with one. I'm going with a bunch.
Yeah, this is the fish story that keeps growing as time goes on.
When you're in a competition, you punish them. Punish them. 214-787-1190. How much damage to a car would cause someone like you to walk away from buying it? This is a great question. I looked at a car the other day. It had $11,000 in damage. And the guy called me up, and it was a family member's car at a state, and they brought the car in. I took a look at it, and he had the work order for the vehicle. And you know what? I didn't mind at all, because the electronic brain system on it was $6,000 for that infotainment brain system. $6,000. And the rest was labor and then minimal on the paint and body. And I went, that's a perfect car. Your main brain, your electronic, your infotainment system is brand new. And you had about $3,000 in paint and body work, and the work was done fantastic. I'd buy that car. And they did. So if you look now at the cost of repairing cars, it's gone up 300%, parts up 300%. It doesn't mean, like my car, it had $22,000 in damage, hail damage. And I had all OEM parts put on. And the rest was paintless dent repair. And the car still, and the residual on it was $18,000, sold for $21,500. So numbers, when you pull up a Carfax, or I use AutoCheck, and it says all this crazy damage, airbags deployed. Does that mean it's a bad car? You need to look at the workmanship and what that really was, because when you have 20 hours of labor at $200 an hour,
that has nothing to do with the car.
That's right. And here's the thing, and they did it in 10 hours. They still got paid for 20. That's how it works in the industry. If I book a deal at 10 hours and the mechanic does it at 8 because he's that good, great quality work and finished, he still gets paid for the 10 hours. So there's so many other dynamics when I look at a car to go, that's not that bad. But you know what? You still want to get looked at. Remember, Driver's Edge Auto Repair, $35. Check it before you buy it. Make your appointment, 22 locations. Go to mydriversedge.com for great service. Tires will beat any tire deal that you got. And they'll do the $35 headlight to tail light. No one else in town will do it. And see whether you got a good bucket of bolts or a bad bucket of bolts. It's just that simple. I can only look at so many cars in a week, but Driver's Edge for $35 is the way to go. Start online at mydriversedge.com. What is a good price to pay for an oil change where they don't upsell you on the cheap ones? $50. A good round number for a synthetic oil change. And then you have your shop and supplies where they charge you to disperse the oil to get rid of it. There's a charge with everybody on that. So $50 is a good synthetic price based on your vehicle. Where, when you get into your diesels and your big trucks and everything, that takes a lot more oil, different filters. That's not it. But your average car, small, medium SUV, $50, you'll be okay on that. Joining us, Jacqueline Shapiro, the great one, Big Wheels Bo Carver, back in studio, Maddie Gomez. And so what advice for the parents that are listening do you give them about their children, especially, this is graduation month. Mm-hmm. It's a big month, and they're going to spread your wings, learn life, figure it out. Well, that bird could be flying home real quick.
Real quick.
You have a daughter, and
I do.
Fortunately, this is your wheelhouse to tell Megan, hey, this is right from wrong, and she's gonna adhere to it more because it's mom than the average person on the street. But what advice do you give to the young people out there that are listening right now?
So if you are coming out of high school or you're coming out of college, remember, your credit score isn't just something you buy a car with. It also can dictate whether you get a job. If you want to go into the financial industry, they're going to pull your credit report. If there are any problems, they will not hire you. So your credit does more than just allow you to get an apartment or get a car. It will dictate some other parts of your future.
And it dictates a lot.
Well, there's thing about government jobs. You want to go for CIA or FBI or military. You're not getting promotions with bad credit in the military.
And take, I've got military clientele too. And if you've got a security clearance, you cannot have bad credit. You cannot have negative or derogatory items going on.
Wow.
Or they will not give you a security clearance, whether you're going to Iraq or where, if you're going into combat or you're going into administrative roles.
Well, you talked about freezing your credit. One of the listeners says, could she explain again, how do you freeze your credit?
So freezing your credit is very easy. You can either go online to all of the credit bureaus, really easy, Equifax.com, TransUnion.com, Experian.com, and open an account, a free account there for your credit reports, and just go in there. There will be directions on how to freeze your credit reports. Once they're frozen, no one will be able to access them, and you'll eliminate a lot of fraud and identity theft that can happen because no one will be able to access the reports to grant credit.
Yeah, because all the credit protection and everything, once it happens, it's not a quick process to get it taken care of. It's not like overnight you go call them up and go, hey, y'all, you foobarred the whole deal. I have all these things on my bureau. It's a process. They got to figure out how it got there. They turn it over to their legal aides. Then they start going through it. And it could be a very long time. And you could be in the middle of a situation where you need that taken care of.
1 minute.
If you freeze your credit, does that mean as things get better for you that it's not notated? In other words, like if you're paying your bills good and everything and you're climbing with your rating, that's not notated?
So you pay your utility bills, stuff like that doesn't go into the credit reports, but no, all of your creditors will still continue to report all of your information.
Show, right? Okay.
It just means that if you were here at the if you were here at the dealership, they would not be able to pull your credit report.
The pulling of the credit's what you're talking about.
The pulling of the credit. Correct.
214-787-1190. Thanks, Craig Robbins, for joining us today. We're going to take a quick break, introduce you to some great sponsors, get things wrapped up here on our final segment of the Automotive Edge radio show here on 1190, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Los Lonely Boys.
Vamonos.
So, Jackie, do you like anchovies?
Do I like what?
Anchovies. She's showing.
No. No, thank you. I put that in the category with beans. I'm out.
Yeah, I can put it in the category. I put it in the category of trash.
Maddie, I'm loving the music you're putting on the show.
Well, that's Maddie.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's
Finally,
awesome.
we had somebody that knows what they're doing.
Oh, music.
I'm going to tell Matt you
What
said
did you say, Maddie?
I said at least someone appreciates my taste in music.
Oh, yeah? Definitely. Well, I do too.
we have to, Maddie, or you can cut our show off.
You know, it's true. Like I could definitely put myself on air and then put you guys in queue. You guys can't talk.
That's right.
We would think we were on there.
Yeah, we're just talking away the whole time. Maddie's got her own show going.
Over there playing songs and talking to everybody on the air. We're over here thinking we're doing something.
Hey, girl, we noticed the studio phones were ringing. Really? We didn't get any calls. They're all for Maddie.
They're calling.
No, I would not do that.
For song requests.
That's right.
I'm still kind of radio shy.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're getting a lot better. You're doing super. You're awesome.
And my good buddy D. Kager watching. He's a Harley dude. I'm going to tell you what, he looks like a Harley dude. D is my friend, and I want him on my side in case anything happens.
Does he have a long beard and the whole
Yeah, he got that long goatee, and he got that big Harley, got that beautiful
leather
wife on the back.
jacket and the whole thing?
Yeah, I saw him going down
scared of those
1709,
people.
and yeah, you don't want to get D upset. Yeah, D is that's a big old boy right there. West Texas corn-fed man, and yeah, he's my buddy. Plus, he is my son's father-in-law and granddaddy, them beautiful babies. Yepper.
There you go.
And let me tell you what, he does pizza night for Thanksgiving. It's the best thing you ever had. He has got the ultimate man cave patio. No one's got a better man cave patio than D. I don't know how many TVs are out there, but boy, he gets to cooking. You want to be a friend of D's. That's right. And there are no complaints.
Nice.
That's a good thing.
Yep. Good morning to you and your lovely wife, Jackie. Another Jackie.
Another Jackie.
So we've got Jackie Shapiro, Jackie Cagle, Jackie Glover, Jackie Arnold. I got a lot of Jackies in my life.
There you go.
I'm blessed. Highly favored.
So, Bo, not to bring up old injuries, but
oh, man. Dude, I know.
Bring it up. Bring it
any
up.
ski doing lately?
No. Have not been on the water since.
Been in the hot tub lately?
Well, now she probably don't know about that. So we went on.
Wait a second. The only person he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the only person to break an elbow in a hot tub.
First night on a cruise in this past December.
Mm-hmm.
First night, out there on the hot tub, getting nighttime, sailing down the road, down the waters, and I get out and I sit on the side of the hot tub and just fell completely back. And they're up high because in a boat you can't sink them down. You got to have them, high. I just fell on my elbow and it cracked it, and it was bad it's just now starting to feel better.
Oh my gosh.
Not that he was drinking or anything.
30 seconds.
I'm sure.
It was just the water.
It was the water. The boat was rocking.
It was really rocking.
A massive cruise ship, and that boat was rocking. It had nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't taken a cruise. Do cruise ships really rock, or are they just super smooth?
No, they do rock a little bit.
Well, Will just got off that big bad boy, the biggest one they've ever built.
Icon, isn't it?
Yeah, and he told me, he said, yeah, we're on the 14th floor. And I went, wait, it's got an elevator? How many floors?
Oh, yeah.
I'm out. That's way too big. How does that darn thing float? And how many people are on it? He goes, 7,000. I went, oh, no. And then you put a 250-pound guy on there. No, that boat's going to tilt. I'm out. Ain't happening. All of a sudden, you start hearing the Jaws music and stuff. I'm out.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Galveston. That boat pulls up. I went, how is that thing floating? And then you see all these people getting off, and a bunch of them look like they ate all the food that was on the boat. You're going, oh, no, that dog ain't hunting. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Remember, for all your automotive needs, go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, and let us help you. Want to thank all the folks here at Hufflines Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for having us out for their 100th year anniversary. I mean, what an accomplishment. Still family owned and operated. And today they got the burgers and the dogs and the drinks, water out front from 10 to 2. And everybody's bringing their Jeeps up here, the Jeep clubs, and bring your ducks. Did y'all say bring your ducks?
They if you go around, you'll see a lot of the Jeeps. If you're seeing them in a parking lot, they have those little yellow rubber ducks in there. It's a big thing, and it's, well, I don't know how it got started, but that's everybody. It drives a Jeep loves to get a duck.
Yep.
So leave them on their little.
There you go.
On their go. If you have them, just leave them on by their car, and they'll put them in there.
Hey, real quick, are there paint colors that lower the values more than others in today's market? No. Miles and condition. I don't care the color. Miles and condition. There's a butt for every seat. Someone's going to buy it. Miles and condition. What is the definition of bad credit? You want to take that one?
The definition of bad credit.
God, boy, that's pretty broad.
That's a really big question. Anything under 600, guys, you're going to have a very, very hard time doing anything in the marketplace or anything financial.
Well, one of the comments was, I have bad credit. I know I had bad credit. I brought it upon myself. They feel like almost they're embarrassed to call you. But you know what? A conversation and dialogue is paramount. It's not like you're a one-all, end-all, solve-all, but you have focus and direction for people, and that's really what they need.
And I think more than anything, if you can just understand that every one of us will get a turn in the bucket. Everybody, myself included. So understanding it will happen. Excuse me.
Yeah, I remember when I couldn't afford to pay attention because my credit was bad. I mean, bad.
Right.
And I remember they hit me at that $16.99 on the loan. I was going, my gosh. And I did everything I could to possibly, and it took me about 5 years to get back on track. Went through a divorce and on and on and on. But once I got there, I realized that monitoring that and keeping up with it, one of those things that you don't want. And there's so many people that in the car business that I've seen that don't have a clue. And they're assuming, man, I've got good income and I pay my bills. They never look at their credit. And I saw one, and this guy made $16,000 a month, and his score was under 600. And he goes, wait a minute, that's BS. That can't be mine. And found out the missus wasn't paying the bills on time.
Oh, yeah.
And so not monitoring, not knowing of, and assuming is a really bad thing when it comes to your credit.
Yeah, that thing the little assuming makes what out of you and me.
Yep.
But,
an ass.
But thank you, Bo. So, yeah, monitoring is highly, highly important. I will tell you that it saved my bacon more than once. But, hey, if you guys are struggling with it, again, you're not the Lone Ranger. We all go through it. It doesn't matter how much money you make or where you live, socioeconomic.
Jackie's heard it before. You're not going to throw something new at Jackie that she hadn't heard or seen before to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. You've seen and heard it all when it comes to credit.
So you can really help them, and that's what you want them to know. What we want them to know.
Well, there's daylight. It may not be immediately in front of you, but there's daylight. True or false?
But the thing about it is, it's like having a good coach or a good doctor or a good dentist, like we talk about all the time. If they come to you, you can guide them quicker and a better way than trying to do it themselves.
Well, and the problem you have is that there's so much bad information, so much
if they go to Google
information.
And it can be very costly.
Right.
And the other thing, too, is with economics, a lot of people are feeling completely overwhelmed. They don't know how they're going to pay their credit cards. They don't know how they're going to manage whatever it is that they're working on. And so they start getting these letters of debt consolidation, debt settlement, and because they're overwhelmed, they start thinking, oh my gosh, these people are just going to save the day.
Yeah.
Not
Or they'll
with-
say, you know what?
1 minute.
I'm just going to let it happen and start over. Not a good decision. Shapiro-Hearst.com. That's Shapiro-Hearst.com. Remember, this show is archived on the Automotive Edge Facebook page. You can go back. There's Jackie, her information. I'm telling you, she is a blessing more than you know. But the only way that works is you've got to start the dialogue. Start your dialogue now. Even if you're not in that situation, you see something down the road, maybe be proactive, not reactive. Want to thank everybody for joining us. Jackie, thanks for taking your Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
The folks out here at Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Burgers and Dogs till 2 o'clock. Come on out and see them. 100-year celebration. Big Wheels.
Yes, sir.
Good day. Maddie back
Awesome.
in studio. We
And
love
what a beautiful dealership. So y'all come and check them out. It's our first time here, and I'm sure we'll be back.
That's right. Have a great Saturday. Remember, turn off those electronics. Get reconnected. Tell that person you love them. Stop the texting and driving, and we'll all be back together again next Saturday here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Have a great weekend, and happy Mother's Day. Have a great Saturday.
All right. Facebook, YouTube. Appreciate y'all being a part of our broadcast today. Be sure and like and share.
And share Jackie's information, because
Yes.
you may know somebody that's having credit problems. And I'm going to tell you what, for all you people that are getting married, check your person's credit.
Oh, yes.
Before
Yes.
you say I do, realize you're going to be part of that problem. And before you say I do, don't let that be a problem later and a reason for divorce. Find out now, because I've told my daughter and I told my boys, check the person's credit. There's nothing wrong with it. They think, well, that's pretty deceiving. No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need to know. You need to know what you're getting into.
Ask them right off the bat when you go out to dinner the
Can I
first
get your Social Security?
Could I run your credit check on you, see what your rating is?
Yeah, well, my daughter was upset. The first guy said, hey, he's a loser. Well, how do you know? Well, he's got terrible credit. Well, how do you know? Really, that's not important, Amanda. Your daddy loves you, and I want the best for you, and he is a loser.
Right.
And
Turned out to be, huh?
yeah, we've heard it and we've seen it all. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you're going to start off on the right foot.
Well,
Know your credit.
Look, everybody is going to have life happen. You've had it. I've had it. Bo's had. We're all going to have it happen. All right. But if you know what you're getting into from the beginning, at least you're going into it with your eyes open.
That's right.
Right. And you've already agreed to be part of solving the problem, not getting hit sideways or unawares that, hey, we want to buy a house and grow our family, but now we've got this huge
Yeah,
problem.
we didn't know the baggage that was being
Yeah.
carried. So Jackie is our number 4 lifeline. A good doctor, a good dentist, a good mechanic, and a good person helping you with your credit. And so you want more information, go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, send me your name and number. I'll forward it to Jackie. And a bunch of y'all were posting questions, and I got a bunch of emails. Shapiro-Hearst.com and get started. Proactive, not reactive, and you'll be all right. Have a great Saturday.
Wesley Stewart says, another great show, guys. Charles says, you have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. And Melinda said, happy Mother's Day to
happy
you, too.
Mother's Day, Melinda. I
And-
haven't seen you in forever, girl.
Still looks as beautiful as ever.
I'm telling
And
you.
Kurt hates
What about me?
saying that.
She's ageless.
What about me?
You're just as pretty as ever. Thanks for being a part of our broadcast today, this morning. We'll see y'all next Saturday here on Talk Radio 1190 KFXR, your Facebook page, The Automotive Edge, and YouTube, The Automotive Edge Radio Show channel. We'll see you then. Be blessed. Happy Mother's Day. Love y'all. Ta-da.